What's up, brother, man?
Dude, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Let me move you a little bit closer here.
I can hear you.
I have like
clearer than the mirror of Galadriel. Just
dude,
crystal.
I have a rat's nest of cables going on over here. Like straight up a rat's nest. I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy. I'm in my new setup over here.
Is Arondir climbing through there?
He might be, and if he is, I need all the help I can get. If anybody is listening out there in the YouTube verse, help me out here.
Huge shout out to my mom if she can hear us. I think she said she was going to try and stay up and listen.
Wow, hey mom.
A huge shout out to Denise.
Yeah,
not sure how she does that after watching the girls and my niece and nephew all day, but God bless her.
Yeah,
she's
absolutely.
Amazing. She's excited about this show, actually. Yeah, she's really excited about it. It's cool talking about it with my mom and dad on a regular basis. Pretty awesome.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, can you guys hear Lane? Oh,
they're probably saying hopefully not. I mean, I hope
hopefully not. What's he? You know,
heads up here, guys. I talked way too much last hotline. I don't know why. I think I was just so excited. But
dude, you know those moments when they can hear you.
Those Hobbit ears.
They can hear you.
Yeah,
now
good.
the other thing is when people call in, I've got to see if this daggone
the ringer thing.
You know, like the call. Does anybody in the chat know how to turn off call alert?
Is anyone in the audience familiar with PowerPoint? I got a presentation. Does anyone know how to pull it up from an email? Anyone?
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Okay, well, I had something prepared. I'm gonna kind of improv it. Okay.
Wait, what's that from?
I'm making it up. You ever been to a presentation like when we were in college, we used to go to those PDs and stuff, and they'd be like, "Anyone know how to use this projector?" It's like they're asking people in the audience if they know how to.
Oh yeah.
Because we're kids, you know.
Right.
Or we're kids anyway. We were kids not anymore.
Not had to grow up.
Not anymore, man. Good Lord.
Had to grow up, buddy.
Hey, while we're waiting on that, you want a little story? You got time for a story?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I'm recording.
Okay.
I'm recording.
Yeah, I'll do a little filler.
Yeah,
I'll do a little filler. In case someone answers in the comments. So the bats, right? The saga of the bats. It's been.
Oh yes.
They've been my fell beasts, right? This whole time. Actually, you know what? I new metaphor. They've been my Sauron. And I feel like the vigilant Galadriel. Okay, of the show, guys. Not of the lore. All right. Specify. Well, I feel like I've chased them to the ends of the earth here, and I'm outside in the yard. I've got a beacon lit, a Numenorian lighthouse, as it were. And I was like, you know what? While I'm out here waiting for the Hobbit Hotline to kick off, start blinging, while I'm just enjoying the night, I'm going to see where because I've noticed they're back. Okay. They are back, but they're not from the same old holes they used to crawl out of, right?
Right.
Or we should crawl back into them and never come out. But so I'm like, I'm going to go keep watch. It's always on the west side of the house. I knew that. So I went over there. They have retreated to their final stronghold, my friend.
Really?
And the most traditional of spots for bats. They're coming in and out of our capped chimney. But let me tell you what, baby. Let me tell you what. I vow here and now. Whether my elf friends go with me or they decide to flee to Valinor, that will be their final resting place. Either they shall die in that tomb, or they will flee to the east, my friend.
Oh,
or south, or wherever they're going, or west. No, I'm not trying to discriminate. North. They go north. They go north if they want. I don't care.
Yeah, whichever. Yeah.
So they're in big time trouble. Anyway, I feel good about that, knowing.
Well, good.
The final tower of Amanda. Yeah. Poor choice. They should have flown down to South America, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
That's that. They messed up. They messed up.
Vengeance will be mine.
Oh my gosh, dude. So real quick, as people are calling in,
yes,
Lane, it is. How do I put this? Which way to go? Which light to follow?
Yeah. Which light to follow? Yeah.
It has been on my mind for quite some time, and I am just super happy. I just got done. I hope you don't mind if I do this. I'm just gonna say this, if that's okay.
Please.
So I've been contemplating like what to do, what direction to sort of take in life. Just got married. Lottie and I are just, I don't know. I freaking love her to death. I mean. It's just been an awesome ride. Been all over the country, all sorts of stuff. Had to settle back down all over the world,
man.
And it's been awesome. We, you hope, I mean, Lord willing, all that kind of stuff, that you're able to have kids and that you can start a family, that whole stuff. Right.
Mhm.
And then I gotta, I'm going back to college, taking college courses, doing different things like that, whittling down, so like sort of narrowing in on what is it that I want to do with my life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's sort of like picking this direction. And then I don't know. So sometimes you have to sit down and evaluate where you're at and where you want to go,
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's just something I've been doing, something I've been weighing. And I just got done recording the first episode for and I think people are gonna freak out when they're like, another podcast. Don't worry. We subtracted a several, and I'm adding one now. But I'm excited, man. I have like this new excitement that I just need to kind of I needed a new direction. And I needed just different challenges, different things. I had to provide for my family, things that I need to do for myself personally. And so it's crazy. Like I'm like, we always talk about things that like reading something in the book, right? How many times do we say we read it in the book and it's paralleling real life?
Totally.
Yeah. And so I feel like now I'm watching the show thinking like, okay, yeah, I've got to like look in, I got to look around me and say, what's working? What do I like? What do I really want to do? What do I really want to continue? All that kind of stuff. So all that to say,
Galadriel's good for you, man. Galadriel's really good for you.
Real good. Just real good. And sometimes, I heard somebody say, so Lottie was on a little episode. She got invited on.
Talk about that. Yeah,
she got invited on to Lord of the Rings watch party. Honestly, I kind of, it's so funny to me. There's so many people out there who talk and who enjoy the fandom. I don't know half of them. I don't even know. There's just so many, right? And so like I had never heard of these guys, and they reach out and wanted to talk with Lottie, and they wanted somebody for their sort of newbie panel, and I thought it was kind of cool, because we just
it's a great idea.
Yeah, like they've heard about Talking Tolkien, said wonderful things about us, and I appreciated that. And they're like, but do you know any newbies, right? And then would your wife be interested in being on our episode? And buddy, she went out there and just, bless her heart, she just did a great little job. And I'm just so proud of her. She just brought up cool connections. And I'm sitting over here going like, you want to watch Rings of Power how many times tonight? Like, that was like really cool. And so it just was great. It was just really, really good. And I'm just proud of her. And it was really cool. So if you get a chance, we'll put a link for that. And you guys can kind of go check all that out. But,
is there like a video for? Is there YouTube destination too? Or cool.
Their YouTube is Fellowship of Fans. Cool. And they've got like a Twitter account, and they're they just kind of do like recipes, fun drink things, fun dishes and stuff like that. Just sort of building some of that atmosphere around a fun series. But she was on that though. What I was going to say is Galadriel. They had a screenwriter on there, so again part of the newbie panel, who said Galadriel she wanted to see her have more sort of inner conflict, but then Lottie was kind of like, well, she's working for me, and here's what I'm seeing, but I don't really know. I'm not a screenwriter, not whatever. And the screenwriter individual came back. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. I'll leave a comment down below. Just met these people, and they all seem wonderful. She said, I guess, right, that Galadriel is in conflict with her environment. Like in a lot of ways, she's in conflict with everyone and what's going on around her, and trying to figure out which way to go. And a lot of that is she has this shell, she has this wall up and stuff buried inside. She's not ready to show any of us that yet. I mean, we're not be trusted with any. We haven't earned any of that yet. I think sometimes we're so entitled just to get into people's personal lives and want to know a whole lot that's going on. And you know what I mean? And here she is saying like, I've already told you enough. Here's where I'm at. I mean, that's sort of an exaggeration. But
no, it does kind of lend to the realism of the show too, doesn't it? That we don't really know exactly what everyone's thinking. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times there's no there's like no soliloquies or like monologues or anything. It's all like dialogue driven. And I guess with the exception of the narration of the prologue, we get a little bit, she's just telling events that are happening. It's nothing like she did in Fellowship of the Ring. So yeah, it's a great point. Like we haven't, wow, I just had a massive burp.
Oh, that sounded amazing.
Like, hello. Wow. From
relief.
The depths.
Let's go.
Little bubbles. There an orc coming up. But it's like, that's a great point that there's conflict all around her. Yeah. And, it's funny, like she's the one who talks about When we meet her in the fellowship in real time, she's speaking to Frodo, who has incredible inner conflict and conflict all around him.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how, you're on the edge of a knife, man. Like, not only are you in conflict with everything, you're very like being your own temptation, this thing that you hate and also love, but also like, this is it, man. This is like greater conflict will come even if you do succeed, there's great conflict.
Yeah.
So that's great that she's that's awesome point.
Yeah,
awesome point.
It's just cool. It's cool to hear other perspectives, and
Heck
like, man, I don't know, buddy. I've been thinking again a lot about this, and I just have decided what kind of energy do I want around my life? What are the positive vibes I want? So I'm just pumped. I'm excited. I hope you guys will join me in this like new project that I have going on. I'll leave you links down below. It's basically a Star Wars podcast, buddy. You know me. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
Boy.
I can't go. I can't help myself, buddy. And I want you on there as well too. Whenever you get a chance, just to guest on there and chat and stuff. It's just like, I don't know. It's just I just love talking about this stuff, and I just enjoy the stories, and I enjoy the lessons that kids can learn. I mean, I have so many students who saw my Star Wars poster this year at school, and they already are asking questions and talking about legends, and they're impressed by the little bit that you might know. It's crazy.
And there's all kinds of stuff coming out too. You've got all these. Well, isn't there an animated show coming out too?
Yeah,
or another season of Bad Batch or whatever.
Right.
So many cool things. Andor and everything, and the Ahsoka show. So actually, honestly, it'll be nostalgic for me because that's when we hadn't talked for years, and then I learned about you doing the Star Wars podcast, and the YouTube channel, and like Rebel Watch, and I just started listening, and I was like, wow. So that'll be crazy for me to experience that again. That listen near you. Yeah, listening to you talk Star Wars. Yeah,
it's just gonna be good, man. And I tell you what, I've always gotten something really good from talking to you and talking here, and I just I love that. And I don't know, it's just fun to kind of share and just be a part of a fandom and take away some positives, So hey, we do though. We have folks ready to call in. I'm gonna send the message out here. Let me go ahead and put that out there again. Line is open. I don't think I fixed the call announcement thing at all. So like it literally says I'm not even kidding you, in the settings, announce calls never. So like I'm thinking about switching it to like headphones. I don't even know. Here we go.
Yeah, different. Okay.
Some sort of thing. Here, let's get this one in here real quick. Here we go. Hold on here. Merge that.
And Perry calls in tonight.
To accept, press 1.
Joe Perry
to send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Who is this?
Lane, this is Sam Moldenhauer.
Sam?
Who is this?
Can you hear me? Sam Moldenhauer. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Excellent, man.
Let's
Sam,
go.
welcome to the little Samwise coming in here, my friend. Holy cow. How are you, man? Long-time listener, first. It's excellent to hear your voice. Sam, tell us how your garden's growing, and then also let us know what you're thinking about the show, if you want to hone in on the whole experience or like just episode 3, whatever you want to talk about. We're here. We can't wait to hear it.
Definitely. Well, the garden's not too great. My wife, my own Goldberry, actually her name is Ariel. She's real, I promise.
That's cool.
She's very afraid of spiders, so got a bit of a Shelob fear. So.
Don't we all? Yeah.
Don't we all? The garden's overgrown a little bit. We're out here in Kentucky, so we're just south of you guys.
Hey, the motherland for Ez. That's
Bluegrass
the motherland,
State, baby.
my friend.
Yeah. I'm originally from Colorado, so I'm trying to.
Okay. Rocky Mountain High. I was just going to say, why do they call West Virginia almost heaven?
I have no idea.
Because it's almost Kentucky, baby. Because it's almost Kentucky.
It's almost Kentucky.
Hey. I love it. We've only been here about a year and a half now, but
nice.
I'll get my thoughts on the show real quick.
Yeah.
I've been listening to all you guys' podcasts, and I really appreciate all you guys have said. However, I don't agree on the quality of the show. I think the stunning visual effects are amazing. I think the character development is just misinformed, I think. And it's hard, too, as somebody who's, very familiar with, like, the Tolkien original characters to try to just jump into, Payne McKay's original characters and not know anything about them. I will say from episode 2, Khazad-dûm and Durin is epic and awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
But I have very little care for the Harfoots. It's not that I don't love hobbits; I love them. It just feels like they're being forced into a story that they were not really a part of.
Okay.
And I'm interested to see what they do with the stranger. I mean, I assume, like you guys are saying, I hope it's not Gandalf. All signs point that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I think the acting is decent. It's hard because the dialogue is just not there for me. It doesn't sound like Tolkien. I know Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh changed a lot of things in the trilogy too, but they did. It felt
kept
like
a lot of lines. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's not a lot of dialogue in the Second Age that you can take from.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's a great point. That's a huge challenge.
Too, but yeah, but I mean, I love the third episode was a bit better for me. The first two, I was like, yikes, this is rough for me. I think it was just not what I expected. I tried to really have high hopes for it, but also knew there's just a lot of changes that were happening. And I'm a bit of a Tolkien purist. It's a nostalgia thing for me. He's my comfort zone. You know, anytime I'm sad or down, or my wife will tell you, we're either watching the trilogy or I'm reading the book out loud to her. So
that's beautiful.
Something that's, I wouldn't say distorted, but just changed, and it's a different viewpoint, you know. And so I think it's just tough when you see that many original characters to, Payne and McKay as opposed to Tolkien, when there's a lot of amazing characters they can take from. And I'm really upset there's no Celebrimbor, or not Celebrimbor, Celeborn. I really wanted to see.
Yeah, that's a glaring one. Yeah,
it doesn't seem to be in the picture.
So this is really cool, Sam, because you're saying a lot of the same things my dad has said. All right, and this is crazy because my dad, I mean, he's read Lord of the Rings, but he hasn't read any of the other lore or anything. It's all just been watching the movies and us talking and stuff like that. So he, same parallel. The first two episodes, he was like, okay, fine. And the third episode, he loved. He was like, this is starting to turn for me. I like whatever they're doing in the third episode. He also does not like the Harfoots, and he's someone who, as far as I've talked with him, he loves the Hobbits. But he said it feels contrived to him. It doesn't feel, kind of like what you're saying. It feels sort of like a forcing of a group of people that wasn't explicitly talked about in Tolkien's writings. So what would I mean, I guess you kind of already said it, but for you, what would turn it around? What do you need more of? Would it just be more of those existing characters, or more kind of? Would you even be in favor of something that Lord of the Rings did well is they took, right, in the movies anyway, they took lines from other characters or even from other times and brought them into other characters that it would make sense for. And so Tolkien's lines were almost kind of transposed into other characters, and it sort of worked for us, even though, is that something that you'd be into? Or how, my thing is, say Payne and McKay are listening right now and they want to hit Sam, they want to hit Sam where it counts, because I think they'd probably hear you and think, dang it, we need to. What could they do to make it better for you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I'd love to hear some more original dialogue if possible. Yeah. I mean, I think you can take things from the Baron and Luthien story, even just just talk about some of the oaths that they took to, and that was another thing, the Arondir Bronwyn story, kind of love thing going on too. I have no problem with elf-man relationships. I love what they're trying to do there, but at the same time, and my wife even said this too, we were watching, and she's like, I don't care for these couples. I don't care that they are in love. I didn't see any of this develop, and there's no story behind it. And there's been only 3 elf-man relationships throughout all of Tolkien's writing, and they all had very specific, just change, very, very important implications to them. And this just feels like it's just kind of there. Now, I mean, something might develop out of it, something really important. And I've heard you guys talk about possibly one of them dying tragically, and there being a really awful, kind of heart-wrenching part of the story too. But it just feels like they took something that Tolkien had specifically reserved for really important parts, and then you're like, oh, they're in love already, and I guess that, again, the dialogue comes out Rondir's like, oh, I said I love you in so many other ways than words. Really? Because we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that at all. Yeah, so what I liked about episode 3 is that they kept with three main characters. They moved from the Harfoots to Numenor and Arondir. That was so much easier for me, because I don't know if you saw my post in the Facebook post, but the first 2 episodes I just couldn't keep up, bouncing around so many different storylines, and again so many new characters that I just don't have any reference for. It was tough for me to actually care about.
I think those are. I mean, I love hearing that too, because honestly, like I don't know. I just love. I know what I kind of know. I mean, definitely know what I feel. I can kind of because Ez and I have talked so long, we've known each other so long. I can kind of, when I'm watching something, know how he might react to it. I kind of know like Sarah's viewpoint of the show. So to hear someone who loves, and I said this, I can't remember when, but like someone who, would you agree with this, Sam, that someone whose wheelhouse and favorite time is like first, second age stuff, even specifically within those ages, certain storylines and stuff, that this would, for some reason I was thinking this show would be like, oh yeah, this is going to be like a gift to those fans who are fans of those specific times. But I'm honestly starting to think like it's much more difficult to process, to like take, because you have these images in your mind, these ideas of like, you're more invested in those ages, I guess is what I'm saying. And so for it to come out, it's just right there. It's, this is the direction they've decided to go, at least early on. That'd be tough. That'd be hard.
Yeah, I'd say, I think it's tough too when there's so little known about the second age. And I think there's characters that you can have a bit more liberties with. Like, we don't know a whole lot about Isildur or Lindo, and I'm excited to kind of flesh those out.
Yeah,
but
yeah, me too.
I feel like they just kind of force so many extra characters that it's like, well, you could have just expanded on other stories that we don't already have a lot of, information around. The first age, however, is very fascinating, and again, I love
the great tales. Yeah,
is my favorite source ever, and just what they've done with Fëanor too. And I saw this, I think it was on like a Tolkien meme page or something. But Fëanor is supposed to be like the most attractive guy in Middle Earth. How the heck is Celebrimbor related to him if that's the guy?
Hey.
Oh, you're breaking of his heart, man. Come on now.
Sam, how dare you? Like, look, I'll put up. Give the show all the criticism you want, but don't come after my boy Celebrimbor there. Celebrimbor, as we've named him. Hey, I wanted to say to Sam too. Something that I saw that the showrunners, they came out, were talking about how they tried to do a lot of Shakespearean and like biblical, dialogue or like cadence with like iambic pentameter. I think for some people, and they didn't say they're using it across the board, they said they're using it for certain groups. So when you shift to different groups, I have actually heard some people say like, this sounds weird. But it's also like it's meant to, kind of like a leitmotif is meant to represent a group of people. I think they were trying to do that, and I could be wrong. So people out there, totally correct me. I think they're trying to do that, and I'm not so sure. I think that's a hard thing to do, and I think that can, like you guys are talking a lot about dialogue and the lack of original source material. I wonder if that's why they tried to make everything that they say sound more Tolkien, but really. I don't know. It's just a tough sell. And I've heard a lot of people say that they're struggling with some people think it's cheesy. Some people think it sounds archaic but also like they're trying to do that a little bit in some respect. I don't know. It's a little all over the place. I don't know. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. And to Lane's point from the last podcast, I think just like that, I mean, you go back and you watch some of even the Lord of the Rings trilogy and you're like, yeah, that's some pretty cheesy dialogue. Like you mentioned, even, like Legolas' entire character can be kind of hostile, like the words that he says and the things he says. But
and I love Orlando Bloom, and I love Legolas in the films too. It's not it was just I think that I think you are being very fair with your criticism. I think the way you're doing it is beautiful, but I think there are people out here and I think a lot of them are they make money on YouTube or their podcast or whatever on this whole angle, but I don't think it's consistent. And so I mean, I think to hear you say that makes me feel pretty good that you also see that as well. So
yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I think there's also listening to you podcast the last couple of times, you got pretty fired up about all the trolls and haters out there, and I was like, I wouldn't put myself in that category, but I kind of feel like you're attacking me right now.
No, baby, not at all. No, and see that's the thing. Like the way it's done too is I think just as important as what you say. And honestly, like I've heard so many people make excellent points and things that I'm not aware of. You know what I mean? Like things that because the first and second age isn't my like preferred time, and so I'm not as like attached to specific characters or even like and I know that the second age is a little more of an outline, kind of more timeline-ish, you know, he does describe a lot of stuff, especially Akalabeth, like the fall of Numenor is very descriptive-ish. I mean, it's not the same. It's not a narrative though. It's not the same way that like Children of Hurin. So you love Beren and Luthien. Children of Hurin is my favorite. Like I think they could literally, there would be no adaptation needed. You could lift that from the pages, play it exactly as it's written, and I think it'd be one of the most beautiful, tragic tales of all time to be seen on screen. So, but I mean, like the Second Age isn't always like that, and so I don't know, like. Yeah, I don't know that all that to say, I'm not as invested in like seeing it pay off big. And so I can be kind of fooled, and I've been self-admitted to that. And, but yeah, if you're into this, if this is some of your favorite time, or even alluding to some of your favorite times, like the allusions that are made to the First Age, yeah, it's a tough sell. And I think hopefully they're listening to this kind of stuff. And I know that they've got the whole series mapped out, but maybe they can make certain changes or tweaks. There's plenty of time to respond, I think, to fans. The one thing I will say, though, that I think is impressive is, like, so me and my mom both loved episode 1 and 2. And then episode 3, I don't know, maybe it's what you're saying that worked for you. I didn't like so much is that we lost a few characters, and for no specific reason. Like, we lost the Durin and Elrond storyline. We lost Theo and Bronwyn, and I'm like, well, what happened? Like, what are they okay? What's going on? Like, what? And so I felt maybe a little more focused on, and I felt maybe there was too much time in some of those character storylines for me. But like my dad, again, the flip of it, like episode 1 and 2 wasn't a fan of, loved episode 3. So I think maybe also there's some hope there for the future. And maybe I think like maybe that's what good shows at the very end, you can look back and say not everyone loved and hated the same episodes, because then I think maybe you're missing a whole group of people. If you can have some people love some people love others, then maybe you're hitting enough notes, or a projection of hitting enough of the right notes by the end. That's my hope anyway. I don't know, but will you continue to watch? Like, are you still like on board following the series, or has it soured you enough that you're like, I don't know, man, like it's just not? Because I could understand that. I could totally understand that.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 episodes, like when I knew they were coming out like Thursday night at like 9, so I was on there right at 9. I turned it on, and then for this last episode, I didn't get to it till I think Saturday, and so I will continue watching. Just the urgency, I guess, will be less for me. My brother and I, we again grew up Tolkien. We were homeschooled, so like Tolkien was the staple of what you read for school, and the first PG-13 movie you're allowed to watch. So you know,
that's awesome, man.
But we both moved from Colorado, our hometown, about a year and a half ago. And he moved to Michigan. I moved here to Kentucky, and both of us, like, we knew nobody coming up here, and so we just like, well, let's dive back into Tolkien together. So we actually started our own little podcast, and we've been talking about it. And he's much more passionate about his hatred towards the show than I am. But yeah, he's got some interesting thoughts on it. But again, I think when you try to touch something that so many people have such varying degrees of, you know, severity of how deep they've gone into it. My coworker, who had seen the trilogy once, he gave it a shot. He tried the first episode, and he's like, I didn't care for it at all. And so this was just a casual fan, somebody who doesn't know lore or anything. And so I think it's just so hard to please everybody, you know, because you have the diehard fans who are like going to nitpick everything. And you had that with the trilogy, but I think they did less to aggravate the fan base, I guess, so to speak. And obviously social media and the internet has blown this out of proportion. Like it has. If the trilogy was made during the time frame of, you know, Facebook,
it would
Instagram,
be the same thing. It would be the same thing. Yep. And then you also have the disadvantage of being compared to the trilogy all the time. Like, no, the show will never be able to stand on its own because of what's come before it. And even like, I mean, some people are probably even comparing it to the Hobbit trilogy, you know? Okay. So Sam, tell us what's you and your brother's podcast. Tell the world. Let them know.
Well, it's called the Well Earned Comforts Podcast. We just have so far, I think we got 10 episodes out now. So far, kind of focused most on First Age stuff. One of my other coworkers had mentioned, because he wanted to watch the show and he didn't know anything about the First Age stuff. So, you know, he went back and listened to our podcast. We did a whole 3-part series on Beren and Luthien, and we did one on the making of the Silmarils. And he said that was actually really helpful for him, as, you know, Celebrimbor was doing his kind of monologue about the Fëanor and the Silmarils and stuff. So was like, cool, that's neat. I'm glad that works for you, because I mean, there's plenty of podcasts and content out there from first to third age and beyond, but we've so far just stuck kind of first age. There's a bonus episode of me and my wife just jabbing around because my brother had a baby, so he couldn't podcast for a bit. But yeah, we just, again, it was an excuse to just kind of hang out together and do something together.
Cool, man.
Guys, we can't just like call each other up and have a conversation. We have to be doing work, right? We got to be stuff.
Yeah. Right.
That's right. Can't just like call them up. That'd just be weird, right?
Right. Yeah,
Unfortunately, yeah, right. We have to have some reason behind it. Give me a break. Well, Ed and I, we faked this whole friendship thing, so it's sort of like an act that we put on. And
it's not.
Yeah, it's that's why we take some of these hiatuses, because it's like, geez, man, see you later. See you when I see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't have the advantage of being brothers, blood brothers, where it's like, well, I got that family reunions. We got to get together. So that's really cool. It's cool to hear your story, man. It's cool to hear how you've come from the real Misty Mountains of middle United States, and you're settled into the motherland of Kentucky, and then also the greatest state up north, man. Go blue, baby. That's really cool.
Ooh.
Really cool. Really cool.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me come on. I've listened to a bunch of your podcasts, and I started when we first drove out here. It's a 17-hour drive, and that's when I started listening to you guys, and I listened to the entire way straight. Like, I just listened to you guys because I just found you, and I was like, this is amazing. And having that, I mean, my wife's sitting next to me, she could tell you, but like having that just, and I went back and I started reading the books again. I read through as I listened to you guys, and that was just so incredibly helpful. Moving to a place that I've never been to before, didn't know anybody. I'm a student pastor at a church out here, so it was just kind of a lonely start to things, but you guys helped a lot. So I really appreciate all the work you've done. I know you put in countless hours making all this work, but I listen to them all. So listen to all these.
Sam, we honestly appreciate you, man, and I well-spoken criticisms, and I that's the perspective we wanted coming on here. As Lane said, I
absolutely,
because we've been super over the top on the show, so we're like, we need to open the hotlines here for somebody to come in here.
Yeah, you got to have a foil for your excitement. You know what I mean? You have to have both. Like, and honestly, I don't want to hear. I mean, I like when people are fascinated with the same things I am, but I also love when people are not. Like when they're like, man, yeah, that wasn't. Because then it opens up great conversation, like we just had with Sam. Honestly, that's an honor, man. Thank you so. Like, I can't believe your wife's probably like, we've heard way too much of you guys on those long drives. Now, I got a question for you before you go. Did you ever listen to us at half speed and pretend we were drunk? Was that ever part of the experience? Or because that would be a lot of listening. That would be too much listening, but a good laugh.
Can't say that I have.
Can't say I have.
That episode you guys did with in the garage when it was super cold, and you guys
the Brewmaster. That was enough, wasn't it? Yeah,
that was too. Oh Lord,
that was one of our most hated episodes. We heard a lot of stuff,
which we understand why. It's fine.
It was one of our favorites. I hated to listen to.
I hated the cold, but I loved the beverage. Yeah, it's too much. Anyway, nah. All right.
I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get back to watching the Broncos somehow lose to the Seahawks here. So.
All right, buddy. Yeah, all right. Thanks, Sam.
Appreciate you.
Bye, Sam. Thank you, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, losing to the Seahawks. Come on, Russ. What's Russ's problem?
We're out here competing with Monday Night Football. You know what I mean? So, like.
Hey, look at that. But, I mean, look at that. Not really competing with it, baby.
No, not really.
Come on. Better game on here.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Wow.
Okay. So, I mean, we were just talking about Colorado Springs, but I mean, Colorado's calling in. You want to jump right into
Colorado? Let's do it.
All right, man. Here we go.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
I don't know. Should we accept? All right, here we go. Can you hear us?
Hello. Welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Who we got here? Welcome in.
What's up, boys? Matthew Johnson.
Oh, Johnson's back.
We got him in here early tonight.
Come on, Matty. Blow that line up.
Yeah.
You can't come in yet. You got to have the back door, young man. What's going on here?
The way is shut.
The way is shut. It was made by these dead guys, and there ain't no coming in. Matthew, how you doing, man? Are you also watching the Broncos game in dismay? Or is that why you're in so early?
Oh, the kids are away, so I'm free right now. But I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan,
Oh.
Okay, there
so
you go. Well,
classic
so
Colorado transplant.
there you go. No problem there. No, yeah. That's Randy Moss was one of my favorite players of all time. Love Randy Moss. Yeah, Vikings legend there.
Great cash, homie.
Okay, now Matthew, what's going on with the most recent episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What who is Adar? Is it are we on the Hobbit Hotline after a dark? I don't know. I mean, what's going on?
I'm just here to let you know the sea is always right.
Yes, it is.
It's always right.
Oh,
Did you like that? Did you think it was cheesy? What did you feel about that?
Oh, it was super cheesy, but it let us know kind of, everything's not right with the Numenorians.
Ooh. Yes.
wow.
You know.
A lot of weird things coming out of the sea.
Really enjoyed. Yeah. I enjoyed the third episode. I felt like everything kind of clicked in for me. And one thing I wanted to ask you guys about is I actually enjoyed Hallbrand in that episode. And I know you guys weren't about him, but I think the archetype he's playing right now is like the rogue. And I've just seen that done so wrongly in so many different contexts. And then, Ez knows that the best case of the rogue is Han Solo, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm having fun with Hallbrand because I think he's a good rogue. I think the actor's doing a great job.
He is very scoundrelly. Yes, he is. Yep.
Yeah. In one scene, he's doing good things. In one scene, he's doing bad things. We don't know where to place him, and so I guess I'm kind of enjoying the mystery of where that's going to go. And I think him and Galadriel make a pretty fun odd couple. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of enjoying him. And
she is a princess too. Really, so I mean that kind of works a little bit. I think Matthew just came up with a new T-shirt as Hall Solo.
Wow. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? I like that.
Scum of Numenor, Hall Solo.
Wow.
Scum of the Southlands. There you go.
Yeah.
Scum of the Southlands. I like it.
I didn't even make that comparison in my head, but that is like he literally is a what did you think about those scenes? I'm thinking especially the one where he's sitting there and the guilders come over
the pub.
Yeah, and they're kind of like they're sort of, it's before he decides to charm them, and he's kind of zoning out. There's that crazy like dark music there, and you see him just his switch flips. He's like, okay, instead of beating these guys up right yet, I'm going to wine and dine and try and steal the sigil. What do you think of that?
Ooh, I thought it was super interesting, and there was also an echo after he had stolen the badge, and he's like, please don't do this. He wasn't able to control himself. So that's like the dark side, and I don't know where it's going, because I picked up on that at the bar and then in the alley, and it was like, yeah, there's something dark in him. Whether he becomes the Witch King, one of the nine, is he Sauron? Like, who knows? I mean, they're definitely playing with us big time with him. I mean, having him wanting to get into forges and stuff. So yeah, I've kind of been enjoying the mystery of that, I guess.
Yeah, he definitely.
So I wanted to offer a counterpoint.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe what maybe to even clarify my feelings towards Hallbrand. I'm very confused, Matthew. I'm very confused. Sarah and I, oddly enough, even talked about it on the way over. She just finished episode 3 tonight, and I was just like, "What's going on with Hallbrand?" I was like, "What is going on?" Like, I think the reason I'm so put off is I can't figure the guy out. Like you said, I don't know. I feel like Luke Skywalker sitting here thinking, "Well, take care of yourself. It's what you're best at anyway." I'm kind of I'm moping off to the Death Star. You know what I'm saying? I think that I won't be able to not see Harrison Ford when I look at Hallbrand now. But like, maybe it's what it is. Everyone else, I'm kind of sort of clear on, except for Gil-galad. I'm like, I said to my parents, I was like, man, I hope they don't mess Gil-galad up with him. Like, sending Galadriel off and then being like, well, Elrond, I know he's actually right, or she's actually right, but we had to get rid of her, and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got another kid. So I hope they don't mess him up. But like, other than him, and the stranger, obviously, but he's supposed to be a mystery. It's like Halbrand is throwing me for loops, and I can't figure out if I like him or I hate him. The actor is incredible. Like Charlie Vickers is killing it. Like Charlie Vickers is hiking up his knickers, bro. And I don't know what to even feel. And so maybe that's what's going on. I'm confused, Matthew, and I'm confused, and I don't know what to do with myself, and I don't know whether to give him a kiss or to smack his face. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. I think I have the benefit is I don't have a podcast and I don't have to talk about it. Have theories. So I just kind of enjoy him and don't think much deeper about it.
Well, I think you don't have a pot. You're starting to become a little bit of a regular here, young man. So you better get ready, because I think people are going to be begging for it. They're going to be like, Matthew. It's awesome, dude. Give us the Johnsons, what they're going to be screaming from the tops of the.
My goodness.
Let's go.
Bring him in. Bring him to the lefties. Southpaw.
Love
bring
it,
him in.
man. I love it. Okay, so what else? Do you have any feelings on? So the third episode worked for you. What else was kind of? What else made it work? Did you like the whole revelation of the orcs and stuff with Arondir and the Watch Warden and his mate who ends up getting killed, and then like who do you think Adar is?
Yeah, I actually wanted to bring this up because I was kind of thrown by this. The whole, when they're in the pit and but at one point the camera zooms out and you see the whole trench that they've built and like the wasteland all around.
Yeah, are they building Mordor?
I was
trying to figure out where Southland was. I'm like, is it in the confines of Mordor? Like, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, because
is that what you were thinking
Galadriel
too?
Figures out that the sigil is
yes.
the map.
Yes.
It was like, okay, the Southlands are Mordor, and
yes,
I thought we wouldn't get to that till the end of the season. And so it's kind of a little more accelerated than what I was expecting.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
So it kind of threw me because I was like, okay, Galadriel already knows Sauron's back. He's building in the Southlands. You look at that scene where they pull up out of the trench and it's already looking pretty much like Mordor / Floridor. And so there's a lot going on there.
Do you think? Okay, here's my question. Right. So yeah, I had that same thought, but it got buried in the rest of the episode stuff too. Because it's right. We see the one of those transitions. They take us into where the pit or the tunnel or whatever is being dug, and it's like in the map. You're like, whoa, hold on. Those are the mountains of shadow that we just went into. We're like in the borders of Mordor. That threw me off too, because I thought the Southlands were more west or something. I don't know, but it definitely made it feel like, yeah, this is Mordor being defiled, and a land or a home being prepared for Sauron. So do you think that Adar is an elf? What do you think? Or do you think he just took an elf name? What do you think's going on there?
So I'm almost wondering, and I'm literally just coming up with this on the fly, is he the king of the Southlands who betrayed them? Or are we all like certain that that's Halbrand? Just because all signs point to Halbrand, but they keep messing with us, right? They keep pointing the arrow one way and then the other way. And so there's honestly more mystery in the show than I ever expected. So I guess that's going to be my theory on the fly, is maybe he's that lost king at the Southland.
Okay, that's actually really, I mean, what the heck? We're all sitting here thinking, because that's been talked about, this blood oath that was made, and you making blood oaths with like the Dark Lord. There's like immortality. How old is this guy? How long has he been around? What's the whole deal? And then Halbrand, as you say, he's not committing. All of his statements are non-committal, right? It seems to imply that, like, yeah, okay, I'm not that guy, but really he maybe is saying I'm not that guy, or like, it's hard to tell. Man, wow, I didn't even think about Adar being the king there. And also, like, okay, Matthew, you brought up the talking about Mordor. My wife, she said she was asking me when we were talking about Hallbrand and him being the king of the potential king of the Southlands, and again, a complete newbie, no lore, no whatever, was sort of like, is that like the South? Would that be like Gondor? You know what I mean? So she doesn't know. She's right in terms of Gondor being southern, so like a southern kingdom to, whatever. But like it's that was kind of confusing for her, and then, so a little bit of explaining had to happen there, and then we got it. But I didn't realize that it was so far south and tucked in that it is Mordor. Is that that the case? And that's even I missed that.
It was that sigil. It was that sigil. Remember when they discovered that the sigil was up, like sideways this whole time? They were looking at it, look like the eye type symbol, and it was actually the outline of Mordor.
Right?
Yeah.
Mount Doom.
Yes, Mount Doom. Yeah, and wasn't it some sort of like? And then even what's the mountain that Minas Tirith is in on Dulian? It's almost like that other little peak was where Minas Tirith is going to be someday. It's so interesting. And so one of those, I can't remember what scene it was but they zoomed in. Like they zoomed in either to that or that transition to the map, and the map transition to it focused on the tree or whatever. Like that tree that they were going to cut down was in the map, and you're looking at the map, you're like, hold on, that's Mordor. And it was very subtle, but it was like, crap, okay, so if we're not that far from Horden and I can't remember the main town. Wow, that's terrible. Then this is all like just south of Mordor. And okay. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Like if that's what we're seeing right now. And Matthew, if Adar is like that's just almost like a mockery taking that Elvish name, and he is the from the line of the kings of the Southlands, like that would make me think, okay, this is the Witch King preparing the land for Sauron, and like maybe in exchange for a ring, like maybe he's already been promised some sort of, whatever. That'd be crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
dang, dude. All right. Yeah, he doesn't have his own podcast yet, but he will.
I thought. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is moving faster. Yes, and almost like, so we talked about this too. We're definitely like settling into a period of time where we thought we were kind of going to be like skipping around and stuff, but this is very clear that like we're kind of hyper focusing on, at least this season, a very specific time that doesn't jump throughout the ages. Like we'll get Elros, but we'll get him referenced through a color by number rug on the wall. That was guys, that was the main thing from this episode. I looked at that and I'm like, okay, like that rug. Did we really? Couldn't we have had John Howe paint a fresco or something? Like, wouldn't that have been more island culture, like more Numenorian? Like, it just looked like, I don't know, it looked like my grandma went and she did some I don't know.
Yeah, the quilting kit.
She had a quilting kit, and she go, I'm going to put Robert Arameo on this side. He's going to be waving, and we're going to make Elros look very different. Going to give him a beard and long hair, okay? And it's going to be as beautiful as one of them stained glass windows that I look at. And that's what I felt. I was just like, oh, wow. That was the cheesiest thing for me. I'm like, could we do, like, because I think comparison, the only thing I have to compare to is like the painting in Rivendell of Isildur cutting the ring. And that's something that, that Alan Lee did. That was a painting he just did right there. And that is like so majestic and like glorified. And then I'm looking at this rug and I'm like, this looks like, I don't know, like a Hallmark made for TV rug. And if that's your thing, that's cool. Like I'm not disparaging like a Hallmark, type vibe, but it just felt out of place. I don't know. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rugs.
For sure.
In Numenor. I don't know, man.
I would like a doormat. Of that rug.
Game needs to be stepped up.
Yeah, up the game. Get John Howe in there to paint. He can paint, guys. It's okay. He doesn't have to be like sourcing. We don't have to source the rug to Amazon. It looked like an Amazon rug. It looked like an Amazon warehouse rug.
Amazon Basics.
It probably was Amazon Basic. It was very Amazon Basic to me. I'm sorry. Okay, that's all. I haven't said much. That's the most
you're allowed.
You're
allowed. You're allowed to critique it a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying. I had to pull it back up and look at it, and I'm all right. I get it now. I get it.
I'd be putting that thing on the floor. I definitely wouldn't be hanging it.
They
don't
even
look
related.
Say that.
They look nothing like.
And it's they look like cartoon characters. I'm like, I think I could make a rug like that, and that's not saying much, my friend. Like, wow. But anyway,
and somebody who made that is so just upset right now that it's not
so mad at me. They're not listening. They don't care. But yeah, if they were, they'd be like, this guy's a jerk.
They're working on season 5 right now.
They are. They absolutely are.
Yeah.
So Matthew, what's coming next episode? What do you think we're going to see, other than finding out like who Adar is and why he's going to spare Arondir's life? What do you think we're gonna move to next this week?
So I wouldn't be surprised if that timeline gets kind of put on hold. And so the next episode, I'm expecting a lot of Elrond, a lot of Celebrimnes.
Let's go.
I think we're going to get some Bronwyn. And then maybe we'll see our boy Gil-galad, but I think they'll choose between the Harfoot and Galadriel to kind of keep at least one storyline continuous. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't see them next episode. And they kind of go to this like 3 storyline type mode for the episode.
Tennis match almost, just kind of a back and forth bouncing between characters. I'll tell you what got me excited this episode too was Elendil. I really liked Elendil, even though I think what they're I talked about it, sorry, I'm not gonna rehash it. Just the tension between him and Isildur, and even him and Eariel, the sister. But I thought to myself, I'm like, man, it'll be really cool eventually, whether it's next season or 2 seasons down the line, to see the friendship of Elendil and Gil-galad. I can't believe I just said it the right way. Gil-galad.
Yeah.
To see their friendship that'll be really, really cool. Something we've never seen before, something that we've seen the end of, like in the prologue, but to see that like kind of build, if they choose to show that, that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think because of that, like they almost can't ruin Gil-galad or whatever the correct way is, because at the end of this, he's got to be pretty cool. Because he's going to join up and marshal the army. So even though he's like telling Galadriel what to do, which is absurd to me because she's like a higher elf than him, I don't think they'll stray too far, hopefully, because I loved Elendil. I thought he was awesome. I thought it was hilarious to see Isildur as like a whiny teenager.
Little punk.
Cool. This guy would have decided to keep the ring. Makes sense. Kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome, dude.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'll get off the hotline, let the others in, but I just had to come on in and I guess say my piece. I don't know. It's good to hang out with you guys.
Dude, it's good to hear you, and I'm glad you got in early. This is sick. I'm stoked.
Getting you guys fresh today.
Yeah,
that's right, man. None of that waiting. Oh, that would be exhausting.
Yeah. So, well, hey, we expect to hear from you next week.
I better go make sure my 2-year-old didn't jump out of her bed.
Yeah, and we expect you next week too. We'll talk to you next week. All right.
Okay, I'll be here.
All right.
All right, Matthew.
All right, thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, you guys take care.
Bye. All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Buddy, we got another one rolling in here. You want to take it?
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Here we go. Roll right on in here.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hello and welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Who do we have? Name thyself.
This is Andrew.
Andrew, my man.
Let's go,
Andrew's back in the house.
Dude, Andrew, you have such a distinct voice. I love when you come in and it's just this is Andrew. What's up? It's just so I don't know what it is about it, man. It's actually pretty awesome. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. This was my favorite episode.
Whoa, man! Let's go, another one. Ez and I, we're being balanced by the Force. This is good. What made it your favorite, dude? What did you love? Like, what did it for you?
The thing that I'm liking is, and I kind of was as I'm watching it more and more, the storytelling is just basically it's like a history class. And as one of my things is I love history, and I think that's kind of why I like the storytelling and all the backstory. This has become my favorite timeline, and Ez was putting out some tweets and whatever about some things, and it's just like I'm looking at like I'm reading up on a little bit of the ages. Like
Wow.
something I never really did before. I looked at the years of the lamps.
Wow.
And-
Let's go, Andrew, because this is what we hoped would happen with this show, right? We hoped that people would come in and be like, I mean, and for me too, like second age, first age, even not a lot of experience. It's driving you to Tolkien. Is that what I'm hearing? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, it is.
Let's
The
go.
last time I had tried to get into it, but again, this is just some light reading that I just did, like looking up stuff on the internet. And
That's how it starts, baby.
Right.
You know that's how it starts.
Yeah, reading some of the, like I said, that obviously it's too involved to get involved with everything, but looking at that and then looking at some of the first age and then a little bit of that you see on the second age, trying to make connections with certain things, and the Hobbit timeline, where the timeline the Hobbit took place, was my favorite time period because it got to tell the story prior to the trilogy. So it's kind of like, that history that's filling in. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
And this here is just, it's blowing my mind, all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
Dude.
I love it, man.
Yeah, it's lore. It's all lore, and it's just like you're right, because the Hobbit's lore to the Fellowship and everything, and so it's just like you keep going back. You're like, dang, there's more. There's more like chests to peek into, scrolls to dive down, and it's wild how much they're how far they went back. I think Lane and I were shocked with the first age stuff. So like they're really going after it here.
Yeah, and so is that I'm not sure. Is that Isildur? Is that the one from the trilogy who chopped off the fingers of Sauron?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's the hero and the villain. Yes, he is.
So we do have almost a specific time period of where we are.
Yes. Yeah, it's like and even like these characters like Pharazôn. So I had to go back and refresh my memory. This was something else that since we even recorded last, I was like, okay, so and this is cool. It's doing this for you. It's doing this for me. It's doing this for lots of people. I was like, Muriel, Queen Regent Muriel, or Regent Queen Muriel. I don't even remember her very well. Let's go look her up. So I looked her up, and then I looked about her father, right? Because it feels like we're going to meet her father eventually. Her father was Tar Palantir, and he was, like they had said, one of the only, for centuries, one of the only kings who had sort of like chosen to honor the elves and the old friendship with the elves. His father was a king who did not, but his mother in secret taught him Elvish, taught him the history of Numenor and elves, and taught him to like cultivate a reverence and respect and love for elvendom, right? And so I learned more about that character, and then I thought, wow, so Tar Palantir, like named after the Palantir stones, I'm assuming that's pretty crazy, pretty cool, or maybe I don't know if it's vice versa, I'm not sure. And then the whole thing with Pharazôn, right? And I was like, how do Pharazôn and Muriel end up together? Because they end up together. Yeah. Well, at least in the lore, Pharazôn is Muriel's cousin. And he kind of like, at least in one of the versions or something, this is all Cliff Note stuff, but he like pretty much forces her to marry him so that he can claim power, so he can claim the throne. Now, and I'm thinking like when we saw them this episode, didn't seem like they were a couple yet. He seems just kind of like an advisor right now. And so to me, I'm thinking, are we going to see that? Are we going to see that whole, how is that going to come to happen? Are they going to choose to show it that way, or are they going to show it a different way? But that's the cool thing about going back into the lore, is you're like, okay, so this is what Tolkien wrote. These are real characters. They are all in this timeline, like you said, this very specific time in the history of the Second Age. How are they going to, like, what parts are they going to stay faithful to? What are they going to change? Because some of it's pretty like a cousin forcing the queen to marry you. That's pretty, I don't know if they're going to choose to show that or not, but it would be pretty wild for like in terms of like Middle Earth, like what we've seen in Middle Earth. So yeah,
right, yeah. That's funny that you started talking about the queen, because that was, like I said, I just did a little bit of reading. I was going to ask if we knew who the queen was, and who the father was. So I mean, like you said, you look you keep looking more and more in, and you get. I'm like, I'm sitting there. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, you know, like, when am I gonna get to sleep? It's a good thing I'm not working.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah, man.
That's
yeah,
what.
this is
Yeah.
a full-time job, isn't it? Like, yeah, looking into the history of the Middle Earth is a full-time job. Yeah.
So the one thing I didn't mention the last time, the Harfoots, which is I liked, again, like, I like that storyline because you get to see where they came from and the evolution of what they turn into as hobbits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's nice seeing that whole progression
Mm-hmm.
right along, because you get not a starting point, but you get a pretty much further back point,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I love that too, and I know a lot of people they're not as big a fans of it because it's not. Tolkien didn't write about it, right? It wasn't. But to me, I'm thinking they're taking a very like historical look at. So you're telling me the hobbits were just always this really refined society, like this very like rural English agrarians. They were always like that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Societies rise to that status. They rise to that like type of civilization. They don't start there. So the fact that they worked it backwards and thought, okay, they might be like nomads. They might be kind of like gypsy like. They'd be very connected to the earth. And so I know a lot of, like, because we're used to the hospitality of the hobbits, right? And so there've been lots of people. And we even talked to Tara and Jason, reflecting on the episode, and they were like, it was kind of weird to see the hobbits, like, well, no, maybe it was my parents. I can't remember who said this. They're like, to see the Harfoots say, like, yeah, if you get left behind. The book of Left Behind was very kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, okay. So the hobbits, who are so hospitable to the point of like Bilbo not really wanting the dwarves there when they show up, but like doing it anyway because he knows that society will judge him if he doesn't. Like, it's just what you do within the Hobbit culture. To see them being like, well, yeah, if you're hurt or something, or you fall behind, you get left behind. That's a huge like shift from what they are. But it would have been like that would have been how they would have been. That's how societies were. That's how cultures were. It was like you were surviving, and if you couldn't keep up, that's like the animal world, man. I mean, that's where we came from. So I do like that de-evolution they've done. I agree with you. I know some people are like not a huge fan of it, but to me, there's enough stuff that they do, ways they talk. Even Sadik, like sitting down, and it was very like Marty McFly, Back to the Future 2, where Nori was stuck under his desk, like trying to get the map.
Yeah.
And while Poppy was distracting. But like, to me, when he was sitting there writing and perfecting a speech, I thought of Bilbo. Like, the whole speech made me think of Bilbo's farewell speech. And it was very like, so this is where this love of public speaking and humor comes from. And I actually really like Sadik as a character. So for me, there's enough touchstones that work, and the in between, I can get there. Like, I can rationalize, okay, we need Harfoots, we need hobbits around. Like, I know that some people are upset that it just feels like it takes away, but if you can connect it to the stranger, whoever the stranger is, and make it work, I'm in. The more hobbits, the better in my mind. So yeah, I agree with you.
Right. I don't think it takes away from what they are now.
No, I don't think so either. I think it complements.
It just adds more. Right. It adds more to their story.
Yeah, I'm with you, Andrew.
Like you said, it adds to their background. It adds to their how they got to where they are. So we didn't see anything more really that's going to solidify that the stranger is Gandalf at the end there, did we?
No. I mean, not that I can think of. It was more focused on the Harfoot's reaction. I do have a question for you fellas. I was thinking, when they were pulling that cart, and then all of a sudden it got lighter, was the stranger in the cart? And I'm thinking, like, poor Largo. Yeah, was he pulling that cart with the stranger, or was he just behind it? I'm hoping he was just behind it. I was hoping, because that's just
you
cruel.
Can't tell though. I mean, it's like
right.
At first, I thought he was in it also, and then afterwards,
he just came out from
behind. I got my son.
Right?
My oldest son started watching it with me at this point now.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's fighting it, but he watched it with me. So, but I think that he was inside. That's the impression I got.
That's crazy, man. What a jerk. What a jerk. What a Gandalf thing. And then also, like, I think it's interesting too, like we saw the stranger, like, kind of bumble in and like tripping over everything, and in his entrance into the like speech, and I was like, that again reminds me of Gandalf like bumping his head in the Hobbit holes, and
Right.
causing a ruckus, and like most hobbits, most Harfoots being like, yeah, I don't know, he causes trouble, he's a troublemaker, you know, he brings bad omens.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like this seed that's planted. So I think they're building towards that. I think a lot of people don't want that. I'm open to it, man. I mean, if that's where we're going, like, why not? Why not find out? It's funny how people want more Gandalf, but only in a certain way. Like, they only want him how they want him. You know, they don't want to see him explored in a way that they might not. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Ez?
Right.
Well, I just, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're kind of like, I think it's more Gandalf, but you're also like, oh, I don't know, wish they would have done Saruman, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sort of, I get it, but at the same time, I'm also like, I really am just shocked that they're even hinting at it. So, and the fact that they might even go there, I'm like, dang, this is more than I thought. I think, as Andrew's saying and as other people were saying, there's like more mystery going on here. There's way more than I thought, I guess, that they were going to do. And so, just even having the conversation that Gandalf is in this, when that first came up before the show, I was sort of like, they're not doing that. And now I'm like, they're doing that. This is happening. This is crazy. So it's wild. But,
unless it's just one big event that just leads to something else.
It might be, yeah, and it could be someone totally unrelated, and that would also be exciting too, because it would be another unexpected thing. Andrew? What did you think of the Numenorians? Sorry, real quick. What did you think of the Numenorians?
I mean, I like that. Again, this is my first interaction with all this kind of that stuff. I don't really remember knowing if there was any of that in the trilogy.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how they, Galadriel was, referencing the fact that the land was given to them, and then the queen says, you didn't give anything to us. We earned it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I like the Halbrand storyline too. It's just everything is. It's like too much. It's like brain overload for me. I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this more than what I thought I was going to be.
Yeah.
It's like almost like my big fandom is Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like this is something that I've watched obviously since the beginning when it all came out.
Yeah.
But it's like taking control. Like it's demanding like me putting an effort in and wanting to learn more. So I think that if that's definitely the writers catching me anyway. And I'm sure, like you said, if they caught me, they had to catch other people.
Yeah. That's
all you can hope for
point.
too.
I mean, the question. So like Lottie often will ask me a lot of questions coming out of it, and they're more questions not of like confusion, but questions of like curiosity.
Yeah.
And so you're like, yo, we're hooked in a little bit, right? Now not that there isn't, some things that people have been like, what? I don't understand or whatever. I mean, those happen in everything, literally everything, wherever that will happen. But just it's been good to hear the curiosity questions coming out. Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite things to do too, especially when I was a teenager, and I discovered the films first, right? I've told the story a million times, but then that drove me to the books. One of my favorite things to do was to try and, like, when the movie came out and to watch it after I had read it, to be like, okay, what do I remember from the book? And then to go back and read it again and again and again. And as reading it over the years, being like, oh yeah, I love being able to like have conversations with other people or talk about like, well, actually that's different in the books, or the movie chooses to do this, and then they're both really interesting. And I don't know, I think that we're gonna have the same kind of thing here, where it's like, well, that's a change from the lore, but it's kind of interesting. And in the Second Age, it actually happens like this, or like it'll be cool to have that kind of discovery as well. I don't think it has to be a bad thing. I mean, to me, and some people, it's not hitting the Tolkien spirit isn't getting like honored in the same way, but I kind of feel like at least what we got from the films, like I feel like it's the same sort of spirit for me. It's close enough. It's closer than the Hobbit films were, honestly. If I could,
right? Yeah,
it really is. So yeah.
That's the same feeling I had, because when I saw the Hobbit movie, the 3 movies, I had already read, read the book, and I was not a fan of it.
Yep.
You know, I take
Yep.
it for what it is, and there's parts that they're good movies, but
Yep.
I still make the connection with the book.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and as far as like they say, if I understand some of the lore and some of the things are changing, but that's the way it goes with everything.
Absolutely.
But the second age, as you said, it was basically like an outline, and there was no specific stuff. So how do you
That's the challenge,
write
right?
that?
Yep.
Right. How do you write that? And
It's pretty
have
brave,
people,
I think,
you know,
honestly.
Yeah. So, and I think they're doing my opinion just counts as everybody else's, but I think they did a great job so far.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I think I agree with you, Andrew. I mean, yeah, for me anyway, it's working for me, and I think it's working for enough people, and that was kind of why we wanted to like go on the defensive of people who were just. It didn't get personal for me until people were like, "Yeah, if you like this show, you're an idiot." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"What a
yeah.
stupid! What like that is just the cheapest little ploy to try and make people to scare people out of liking a show. Like that's what your goal is. Like, where's your show? Huh? Where's the show you made about the second age? Exactly, because you don't have the gumption to do it. So or the skill. And so to me, I'm like, it's okay if Tolkien fans like and hate the series. It's mostly like just don't insult other Tolkien fans. That to me is just dumb. Like we're all
Right.
different exposure. We all have like different familiarity. We all have different likes. Like just because you like the Lord of the Rings books doesn't mean you're going to like stuff in the Silmarillion. I mean, they're not like mutually exclusive. Like you don't have to or you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to like all of it or none of it. Like you can like certain parts, you know, and that's the beauty of it is he created a a big enough universe that there's stuff you can like and stuff you cannot like.
Yeah.
So, like I don't really like elves. I mean, elves are not my favorite thing. They're just so weird. I feel like they're like angels, you know? It's like, okay, angels are great when they're helping you, but it must be pretty nice to hang out with God. You know, it must be a lot easier to believe and have faith in God when you're hanging out with them. Honestly, I think people got it a lot harder than divine spirits have. But that's how I relate. That's how I think of elves. And so I think like I relate much more to men, to even hobbits who are these humble little creatures that no one even acknowledges. I feel like a hobbit a lot in my life, and I love that. And so to me, yeah, like I don't love all of the purely elven stories. Like they live too long, they do too many things. You can't remember who is related to who. It's like trying to follow the British like the British royalty tree, like going back, like everyone's cousins with each other, and it's ridiculous, and they're marrying each other's nieces and stuff. So anyway, yeah, so like you can like parts and dislike other parts, and that's okay. So you can like
Right.
the show, and you can dislike the show, and it's all good. It's all good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
Andrew, it's good talking to you, bro. Now I think you're gonna have to jump on Ez's new Star Wars thing. I mean, I didn't know this.
Andrew,
Do you know
bro.
this Az about him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to Shell Cottage Radio this morning in the car.
Get out! Look
Wow,
at that.
dude.
And I heard that, and I got a little excited in the car too. And then you mentioned it tonight, and I'm like, this guy
It's
killing
time.
me.
I'm
As
telling you,
you're making people excited in their cars, man.
that's what I want.
A name for that,
that's
bro.
what I want. That's okay. Well, all right. I do what I can. Andrew, I wanted to reach out to you because for Andor coming up, man, I'm gonna need some guests on the show and stuff, man. So I got to get like people lined up, buddy. I can't. I'm excited. So.
I mean, I think Andrew is a modern translation for Andor, isn't it? Isn't Andrew come from Andor?
Pretty much,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's cool.
Let me know. I'll clear my schedule.
All right, buddy. I will. I really will.
Boy.
So awesome.
Right.
Good hearing
All right,
you from you, buddy.
Good talking.
Thanks for
to you.
calling, Andrew. Good talking. See you
All
next
right.
week, man.
All right. See you.
All right.
Man.
Dude, this is awesome. I love this.
Well, I love it too because like that's it. I've heard Andrew on like we've done some stuff on different projects, and just to have him calling in and stuff, it's just really cool. It's really good to hear his voice and all that good stuff. So weekly caller. So
Absolutely.
Looks like we got somebody else coming in here as well.
Let's go.
So let's just roll with it. My gosh.
Welcome in.
Here we go. We'll switch.
Christine and Arna Lutman.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press
All right, welcome into the Hobbit Hotline. Who we got here with us tonight?
Hi, it's Christine and
Arna.
Hi.
Oh
Hi,
my!
guys.
Yeah,
Oh, Christine! Oh my gosh, Lane. So this, remember I was talking about these two. They came up to Mount Vernon, listened to Shell Cottage Radio. Lottie and I,
Yes.
dude, we showed them. We went around Mount Vernon. Oh my
the selfie.
gosh.
You got the selfie together. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Christine, how you doing?
yeah, we're good.
Doing good. Okay. Arna, how you doing? You guys doing all right? I mean, like how you feeling about the show? Initial thoughts. Give it to me.
A lot far.
Yeah, yep, quite good. Loving it so far.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of criticism here, really.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
There's not much to hate, is there? I mean, honestly, like it's an enjoyable show, if nothing else. I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's well produced, and like neither of us has read the Silmarillion or anything like that. So we don't really know a lot of the background, so we can just sit back and enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got to see it in theater the first time we saw the first 2 episodes.
Oh, that's
we were-
awesome.
Front row.
It was cool, but yeah, we were in the front.
Wow.
Gotta see a chiropractor after that. I mean, that's
Yeah, no joke. Oh, you guys want to hear a funny story? My dad used to, when we would go to movies, he would insist we would sit in the front row. I was like, Dad, what is wrong with you? He's like, the whole room is the screen, Lane. I'm like, Dad, you're insane, man. So I've seen many movies from the, I think I saw like 2 towers from the front row, and the towers were there were like 4 towers. They were so tall. It was crazy. What was that like in the theaters? Was it a cool? Did they play? I want to know. I didn't ask. Someone else called and told us they saw it in the theaters. I can't remember if I asked this question. Did they show them like back to back, or was there like was it still separated in half? Like, was there any kind of editing changes for how they rolled from episode 1 into episode 2? Was there like a break or something? I guess is what I'm asking.
Not really. It was pretty much back to back. There was maybe like a 5-minute break, if that.
Okay, cool.
Maybe had a screen.
Okay.
Screen for a couple of minutes, but that was it.
Yeah, not really time to do anything.
What a cool experience. That's awesome, man. Wow.
Yeah. So hey, just so you guys know, just real quick. So Lottie hasn't seen, or she hasn't read any of this stuff either. So like you guys, I mean, know her from like Shell Cottage Radio, and just these guys have been listening to Up Talking Tolkien, and like she came in the same way. It almost takes a pressure off to not have read all of that and just to come in and say, hey, I'm just gonna enjoy this and see what we get. I mean, I feel like that's fresh. It just feels, I almost wish we had that a little bit, Lane. I'm sort of like,
I know. It's enviable, man. Well, that's how we entered into this world. At least, like me, anyway. True. I had no knowledge of. I mean, I knew it was a thing, and I knew it was like a thing for nerds and geeks and stuff. And I was like, hey, cool. All right. I don't know anything about this, and it turned me into a dork. So that's absolutely. And I loved it. I loved that I got swept away. So do you guys feel kind of like swept away to Middle Earth? So you feel like you've been like plopped into a universe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's some similarities, obviously, to the movies and to the trilogy, as far as it being in the same universe, different time. So I think it feels right to me, at least.
Yeah. The one thing that kind of threw me off is a little more like a little bigger thing is the timeline. So we had the whole prologue of the first age and the war, and then it went to the second age, and then they hunted Sauron for hundreds of years. And I assumed the second age would be like a couple thousand years long, kind of like the third age.
Mm-hmm.
Yet now we're meeting Theodore and Elendil, and they're around at the end of the second age. So are we like near the end of the second age already? Do they just live 1,000 years because they're Numenorians? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great. The timeline has been kind of like, I honestly felt, Ez and I have talked about this. Well, before the show was out, we were like, we're going to be jumping all over the place. We thought there'd be a bunch of time jumps, because the second age is so big, and we weren't sure if they would focus in on a certain era or even specific specific time period, or if we would jump all over the place. And it really does seem like you're right. Like they kind of glossed over the much of the beginning, middle of, like, I thought we'd see the rise of Sauron, and clearly Sauron is already, he's already evaded asking forgiveness. He's already fled to the east. He's already back. Like he's building Mordor. He's got orcs that are being at least organized by Adar and maybe even others. And so it's almost like there's this whole chunk of the Second Age we haven't seen. So that is kind of weird. It is weird to think like, will we see more of that? Will it do flashbacks eventually? Is that just something that we'll never get? We'll have to imagine, or what? Because I thought that was really interesting stuff too. Like if you look at the timeline, there's a lot of really interesting and mysterious things that happen in the first, like the beginning and middle of the Second Age. And it seems like, we're kind of plopped in like right before the end of, or right before the destruction of Numenor, and like the fleeing to Middle Earth, and like the creation of Gondor and Arnor and all these different kingdoms that we know in the Third Age. So it's kind of, it's crazy to see how they're deciding to do this. But again, I don't hate it. I like it. It's good. So
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I actually had the crazy thought that the Elendil and the Isildur that they were showing the show were maybe not the same ones, so that the names would just repeat at some point.
Oh,
but
yeah. Well, because
I think it is.
well, and that's a good. I mean, that's a good thought. I mean, because you don't know like how many of these names have been used again. Like how many of those Numenorian kings were like named
repeats
after previous kings. Yeah, it happened all the time. Yeah, I know. That's something that I've even had to stop and think. I'm like, okay, who's this? Is this person?
So we actually have some even
like with the Durin.
Yeah, go ahead, Arna. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the Durin thing. Like I thought Durin was the Dwarf King at some point. Now we're doing the third and doing the fourth and the fifth, the sixth.
Yeah.
It isn't okay. So help me on this one, because I've been telling this to people, and I think I'm probably wrong. So maybe I'm giving people the wrong information. Isn't Durin almost like a name and a title?
I think so.
Is it purely a name, or is it like a dwarven king title that has been passed on too?
Yeah, let me look it up here. But yeah, Durin's full.
Okay, because I thought it
was
right, and I thought maybe it was like you almost. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. But like when you became one of these kings in certain kingdoms, in the dwarves, you were named after the very first Durin.
Yeah. Essentially,
like
you were of the House of Durin. Yeah.
Pick a name.
Right. Let me see here. Yeah, as far as I can tell, that's sort of House of Durin. It says Durin's folk, also known as Longbeards, were one of the 7 kindred of dwarves. So 7 were made, right? Somebody was the first, I guess. And,
right. Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so never thought about it much like that. But yeah, the other thing that Arna was bringing up that was interesting is we had commenters in here on the live chat also saying like that is a good point, that you reference 100 years or whatever it was for the hunt, and then it feels like we're at the end of the Second Age, and that is a little. I think there was meant to be more passage of time that I didn't catch either, actually. So it's a good observation.
Great observation. Yeah, good questions too. I mean, like, are we going to see Durin the 5th and 6th and 7th? Those are good things to. Yeah, and Durin's Bane. Which Durin is it? You know what I'm saying? Like this Balrog. Who's Durin? Which Durin's Bane? I don't know.
Right.
Geez, my mind's getting blown.
It's a big
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh wow. So hey, just before any other like storylines or things that you guys liked? How do you feel about Arondir and all the stuff going on there in terms of
Good question?
For me, like in episode 3, Arondir starting the whole thing off, just getting drug in there. He looks beat up. He looks like like it looks so intense and so real. And Cordova's doing a great job selling that. It was so emotional, all the different stuff that went down with the elves. What did you guys think about that storyline?
Yeah, he definitely got more emotional. I feel like in the first 2 episodes he was very stoic.
Yeah.
Barely showing the he wanted to show. And now with all that elvish decorum stripped away, basically, he got a lot more emotional when all his companions died.
Yeah.
One by one.
Right.
Even symbolically having his armor removed, like that's a great point. Like he was literally stripped down. I mean,
Yeah.
not all the way. We didn't need an intimacy coordinator, but he
Right,
was
yeah.
stripped down quite a bit, and his emotions were more like openly bared. Wow,
Yeah.
that's such a good point. Oh my gosh, yeah. I love Arondir. I love looking into his eyes. I feel like he's looking right at me. I don't know. Is anyone else feeling that way? I feel like he's staring into my soul.
Absolutely.
He might save me from an orc arrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
That's crazy. Well, actually, thinking about the preview, right? That is something we haven't seen yet. So it's sort of like it's
coming up.
So
I
so
think,
long
dude,
to go, or is it next episode? Is it how far away is that?
How far away is it? And I think that actually, so I've gone back and forth on who that is. I know we've talked about, is that Bronwyn or is that someone else? I think it's Theo, man. I think he's saving Theo.
Wow. Wow. Because like they're imprisoned. I mean, we see that sort of thing with Theo. So it feels like the next, obviously next couple episodes, but I just wonder if it's not later or earlier what the deal is going to be, because the other big thing is right at the end of this, and we'll get Christine's thoughts on this. Right at the end, what did you think of the individual who shows up, Adar? Like, we don't really get to see him, but he also looks kind of I don't know how to explain it. He's got like elongated like features. It's all blurry. I wish we could.
He's also got that
unblur
like shaved. You know how the elves in this have like that kind of like they shave the sideburns just slightly.
Yeah,
like they shave just above where their ear is, and he's got that same kind of haircut, like hairstyle.
True. Yeah. He's interesting. So I don't know, Christine, any thoughts? I mean, just he looks. I mean, do you think he's an elf, or do you think he's something more? I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't look completely orcish, so I don't think he's like pure orc. But I'm not sure. Maybe he's somewhere in between, because the orcs came from elves initially.
Oh, that's a great point.
That's between.
Right.
Corrupted elf of some sort.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great. I didn't even think about that. Like wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was really I guess seeing his armor, I was thinking something different, and then to see his face, it almost looks like I don't know, he's not wearing a covering. Maybe he's okay in the sunlight, unlike the rest of them, because even under those they're all still wearing coverings, even under the I don't know, like the tarp or whatever. So
my thing too is like, why is he gonna let Arondir live? Like, what is he going to? Yeah, what's going to be the deal? Is he going to try and like turn him, like make him serve him? There's no way. Arondir's he's way too like faithful. But like, how will that happen? How will Arondir escape? Like, he's got no one. He's got none of his fellow elves even now. So I wonder, like, how is that? I don't know. That's going to be crazy. I mean, clearly he can handle his own. He kills the warg that looks like one of the hyenas from Lion King.
Yeah, it does.
So, actually, Josh Dalkey commented. He said, "Am I the only one who saw one of the hyenas from the Lion King?" And I was like, "No, that's spot on with that warg with the the buggy eyes and everything."
Oh yeah.
He takes that thing down. He traps it before that. He's I don't know. I feel like he could break out on his own, but where's he going to go, man? Where is he going to go?
Well, I think he's being questioned for that very thing, which is like, where were you going? What's the plan? They're trying to figure out what they're up to, or what would the elves do next, or how could they, where are their armies and that kind of stuff, So.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, but anyway,
I have a more important question. What did you guys think of Mount Vernon? Did you like the North Farthing? How was your time in Mount Vernon?
Oh, it was cool. Yeah, it was a very cute little town. We quite enjoyed the trip.
Yeah, it's
and we enjoyed Ezra and Lottie a lot too. Super fun.
They're pretty enjoyable, aren't they? They're just
We enjoyed you guys too. It was so awesome. They came in and came in like a night early too, and there was I think there was a festival, like arts and music or something festival was going on, and I was so proud of Mount Vernon. I was like, let's go. I needed you to step up here, because I was a little nervous in terms of what am I going to show them? I don't know what's going on. And then thank goodness they had a little festival. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Small town. So crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, okay. One more question just before we let you guys go here. Thoughts on Stranger Harfoot? Do you guys like the Harfoots? I love hearing people's opinions on the Harfoots, because we started the whole show off with somebody kind of saying they weren't feeling the Harfoots, and it wasn't really their cup of tea. I was smiling, the whole time, and I know but some people have been like, feels forced, feels whatever. What are you guys' takes on the Harfoots?
I really like the Harfoots. I think they're cool. I personally am not super into the storyline with what was his name? The elf, the one we were just talking about, Arondir.
Oh, Arondir,
yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm not super into that storyline.
Yeah.
But the Harfoots, like whenever they come in, I'm like, I don't really like the real serious, real battle type heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying a lot more like the storyline with Galadriel and the storyline with the Harfoots, and it's a little bit more levity and a little bit more I want to say just cuteness.
Yeah.
A little
so
bit different from
Christine, would you be in favor of my dream series, which would literally be plopping us down in the Shire and just living there for 5 seasons? Would you be a proponent of that kind of? Yeah. Okay. See, I think there's a fan base for this. I really think people want to see the Red Book or the Four Farthings or whatever we're gonna call it. And maybe you and I just sit down and we develop this idea and we pitch it to whoever will hear. Okay, even if it's Hallmark Channel, I don't even care. I think we need to go live in the Shire. I think we need to hear all these tales told from maybe I don't even care who it is. Maybe it's the old Took. Maybe who knows?
Yeah.
And it's nice to hear when people talk about like loving the simplicity and the levity of the levity brevity, one of the viddies of the Shirelings. Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. We're feeling that same group, and yeah, it's good. Oh, go ahead, Arna. What was that?
Yeah, I just had a wacky thought. Imagine a Friends type sitcom set in the Shire, and people meet at the Green Dragon every day for the ale.
Yes.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm down. We could even have like a Cheers type sitcom that takes place in the Green Dragon. I'm even open to that. You know what I mean? Wherever you want to go where everybody knows your name. And let's go, man.
Right.
You could get Woody Harrelson in there. He could be the bartender. I would love it. I'm sure Ted Danson would do it.
Yeah.
We could dress him up in Hobbit gear. That'd be great.
That'd be wild. That would be wild.
I love it. I love that idea. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Wow, guys. This was a surprise for me. I'm super pumped you guys called in here. That was awesome. Lottie's gonna miss I think she fell asleep, so she's missing out. I'll definitely timestamp this and have her listen in. So she was so excited to meet you guys and just good people. So thank you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for talking to us.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, guys. That was awesome.
All right. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
You too. I hope to meet them too someday, Ez. That was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, just good folk and good conversation, and it's just fun. Casual. Just kind of like I like their approach, just kind of coming in and saying, I just don't have a whole lot of background knowledge on it. Just want to sit down and enjoy something. It's
enjoy the show. Yeah. Yep. No major criticisms, right? That was it. Like no major complaints. I feel the same way.
Yeah. Yep.
Feel the same way.
Yeah. By the way, too. So I think we're gonna have a couple, maybe another caller or two coming in here. But my friend, I didn't realize how much stuff was in here on the. Well, here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Important caller coming in here.
Cameron Hansen.
Get this guy out of here.
Press 1.
I caught the name. I caught the name there. Get this guy out of here. Hey, young man.
Hold on.
It's past your bedtime.
What?
Aren't you sleepy, son?
Hold on. Something's going on. Something.
Call from
Cameron Hansen.
Okay.
Good Lord, he's calling in twice.
No.
Hey, young man. Hey, tired.
Hello?
If you're gonna take over someday, you're gonna have to learn to stay up late. You know that, right?
There he goes. Oh, Cameron.
I want to ask, how old are you? I want to ask aren't you supposed to be younger than us, man?
Lane's talking crap, Cam.
Listen here, Mr. Future Peter Jackson. If you're going to take over for us someday, you've got to be able to stay up late. Okay? You got me?
What is all this coming from?
It's just too late for you to be calling in, is what I'm saying. This is past your bedtime, young man.
Jason
Hattery is our age. Jason Hattery can have a bedtime.
Lane is
projecting. Way too young.
Lane is projecting. He is tired. Lane is tired as all get already.
Ez doesn't. Hey, he knows me pretty well. I gotta say, that's part of it. Cam, what are you doing? What do you think of this episode, man? Who's Adar? Do you have an Arondir poster on your wall yet? More importantly, does Courtney have an Arondir T-shirt? Because
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that the answer is yes. If she has a T-shirt with my face on it, she's got one of his.
He might do it if not. But yeah, I think okay. Speaking of Courtney, she's like surprisingly like loving the show. Even though she didn't even care for the actual trilogy, but she's like asking me when the next episode of the Rings of Power is coming out, and she's like,
wow,
she's super invested in it and like asking questions about like what I think's gonna happen, and she's making her own little guesses and theories and stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. But,
is she winning in the Fantasy Fellowship? Who's there? Am I winning? I think I'm winning, right?
I don't know. That's what I found out through a few people on the Facebook page that nobody knows who they got. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I think I can print out or like export a little spreadsheet basically where everyone can look at who they got. I have it pulled up here right now.
Ez doesn't know. Ez can't remember.
I
wrote mine down. I've got mine in my iPad. I know exactly my 5 picks. I just have to look them up.
That's what I wanted people to do, but I think basically no one ended up doing that.
I took a screenshot. I was so excited I took a screenshot. And I want to say that I was the first one. I think I should earn like some kind of advanced like XP points for being like the first one to fill in their fellowship.
You were the first one, actually.
I know, baby. I know.
I think you actually might. I don't know. I forget who Ezra picked, but between the two of you, I'm almost certain you're in the lead right now.
Yeah, boy. You want to know why?
Wow.
I got that deep and sweaty lore inside me. You know what I'm saying? Lore of the Rings, baby.
What?
Because you picked both. You picked
two made-up characters.
Arondir,
okay, yeah.
Arondir and Nori, but you also picked King Durin the Third, but he hasn't really done anything yet.
Okay, except he exposed the secret of Khazad-dûm. Come on, boy! Like,
whoa! Hey, don't be arguing with the points master.
And maybe he had one of. Hey, points master. He may have had the best line of the entire series. When it comes to elves, you've always had sandstone in your granite, you son of a.
You know what? You're so right. I need to start giving points for just like dope
good lines. Oh, see, wow, I am influencing the points master. Dang, dude.
Bad.
Well, you don't get retroactive points. You get if he says anything else cool, then I'll give you points.
What the heck, dude?
Yeah, it's true. Hey,
okay.
The influence needed to be there prior to. So
this is Deflategate. That's what this is. This is Deflategate. This is the Tuck rule all over again. I'm getting hated on. I feel like Charles.
Okay, but listen.
What's the Tuck rule?
The Elendil has 14 points as of now. He got 14 points in like one episode.
Wow.
Wait until he saves the entire Numenorian race. All that's left of it.
True.
Jeez, long play.
Arondir has 15 points so far, grand total.
Yeah, because he's sexy as hell. Like, isn't that part of it?
And then Nori has 5. Somehow you've managed to pick almost every one of the top point scorers out of their category.
Well, I had to be good at something. Mom, I hope you're still listening. You should be proud of your son.
Yeah,
he's good at the fantasy fantasy league for the Rings of Power. He probably wrote in Gandalf, didn't he? He's probably like, "Oh, this is really going to pay off." I'm going to write.
Yeah,
you were right in.
I messed up. I had like AMR, AON. You know, I'm playing the long game, buddy.
I'm pretty sure Ezra went like the powerful women route. Actually,
I did.
A lot of
boy, and people would call him a certain name. No, sir.
No, sir.
Not my man.
Not my guy.
He went for the Queen Regent,
right?
Galadriel.
Dang, boy.
Princess Disa. And Marigold Brandyfoot, who I think will probably that's 0 points by the end of the season.
Right, Marigold's not really pulling her weight right now. And you take a look at that wagon, and I felt like we could have got some points there had she pulled her weight on that wagon.
I think she should have negative points because she called Nori useless. You think you're special? You're not special. You're just a child. That's hate. That is straight up. That's some Sackville Baggins bull crap right there. That's the Baggins side going, oh, shut up, Took side. Don't no adventures. No. Stay safe. That should. Can I say something? That should automatically DQ Ez for the entire season.
So what?
I think that's a DQ for the whole season. I'm sorry.
For Marigold saying that, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I think it's literally antithesis of the spirit of Tolkien. I mean, honestly, I think that Ez should be barred from the rest of the season, maybe even next. I think we need a suspension.
Wow.
I think we need to take it to the commissioner, and maybe he can't ever play fantasy again. Is what I think.
Lane's like, I'm in the lead. Stop the count. No more.
That's right. Well, it's part of this also because Ez is in like 10 fantasy leagues, and I've never gotten an invite. I mean, maybe it's okay.
Yeah, trust me, you
they're
don't
just work friends.
You don't want to
It's
be
fine,
in
but
these
that's okay.
leagues. Golly,
Maybe we should start our own league, guys. Okay? Have you ever thought of that?
I have not actually. We should. I think that would be actually a lot of fun. And
Sarah asked me one time. She's like, would you ever want to play fantasy football? I'm like, yeah. No one ever asked me.
Oh my! I feel terrible.
It's cool. No, it's cool, man. I don't know.
What a friend,
What a jerk.
Picking all the women and then acting like a total jerk. I mean, that's fine.
Hey.
I'm just joking. He deserves the win. He deserves everything he's gonna get. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. So hold on a second. hold on a second. Largo. Hold on. I think Marigold though makes up for that. Var-a-Lago. He when he found her in the grass. When he found her that day in the grass and the smile on her face, I feel like Marigold made up a lot. Like there should have been points there for like best
As
smile.
You ignorant pig, you want to give her points for a smile? What is this, a beauty pageant? Ignorant pig.
I'm grasping at straws over here.
You want to give her points for a smile?
I need
not
absolutely
a strong woman. Wow.
I'm drowning. I'm drowning again, Lance.
What next? The shape of her dress? Like,
no,
come
hey,
on,
I
man.
think it's sort of like what was Lottie would be proud of me here. It would be Professor Lockhart. He wins Witch Weekly's Best Smile award all the time. So I feel like points.
And is he a good character or a bad character?
Yeah, he's not good. But so I feel
Everyone
terrible.
who smiles in Harry Potter is a bad character.
I feel terrible
making that Pink Lady. Yeah, way to go, man. I think you just dug your own jerk. This is Ez drowning again. He's at Numenor and they're flooding, and he's not on the boat.
Kirk the jerk. Just go ahead and start the chant.
Kirk the jerk. Oh wow. That's no, I'm not saying that. That's the work of the devil, man.
That's riddled. That's riddled in history. That's me up. That's me up to bat in Little League. I'm kidding. Actually, it just rhymed.
No, I don't think you are. That's wow. This got real raw, real fast. Good Lord. Okay.
Cameron, why?
I'll never joke around with that again. I'm never doing it. Wow.
I'm just listening.
Thanks a lot, Cam. Ez and I are both in tears. I used to get called lame.
And how did that make you feel?
It's one letter off my real name. It just happens.
Cameron's our counselor now. We just dude.
So
okay, hold
Cam,
on.
what? Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, you go
get
ahead.
us real
You know what?
No, why
That's
don't you?
it.
I insist.
I insist as well.
I assist in.
All right, fine. Cameron, what did you give us some thoughts on the episode 3, the whole shebang? What'd you think? Cinematography.
Hey, what'd you think?
How you feeling about it?
What'd you think of confirmed by Jimmy O'Connor, West Auckland, on that beach with Galadriel riding in slow motion? Was that some of the most beautiful cinematography, like slow motion stuff you've ever seen?
It was super cool, but honestly, it kind of felt out of place for Lord of the Rings, but it felt in place for what the show is itself, I guess. It just like it seems so tonally different than anything. Like if they had that a lot, it wouldn't feel as weird, but suddenly just like having something that you would see on somebody's cinematography reel, like that seems like something somebody would just like did to do like, let's do something gorgeous. And it's like, okay, yeah. But there's like no other real slow-mo in the entire show so far, so I hope they do more, if anything.
Now hold on a second, guys. Hold on.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. I object.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you caught this, Cam, because you're not a student of film or anything. I'm pretty sure Arwen rides across the Bruinen in slow motion. I'm just saying, man. I'm pretty sure when she's on that horse, baby, and she pulls out half a fang, or however you say her sword's name, which was her father's, that she's in slow motion, and that horse is also in slow motion. Now, was it a close-up? Was she smiling? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No smiling.
But I would have put that on my highlight reel, baby.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that Marigold doesn't get points for her smile because it wasn't in slow motion? What the? This is a joke. This is a joke. I'm upset. I'm
You know
upset.
what that was? That was for everyone who was like,
You ignorant pig.
A Karen Galadriel here. Okay, she does smile. Okay,
Oh my
dang.
gosh.
Can't use that. Can't
That's
use that
crazy.
mockery anymore.
That's crazy. It was beautiful though. I gotta say, like, honestly, and I kind of get why they do it. It's sort of like it's exactly what Lane said when we're kind of joking, but I mean, it's to bring out to show this side. I think I heard somebody say, "I wish there was like one line prior to this about her love of horses or riding or being this freeness."
Right.
That's a little.
Well, she was
jarring,
too busy making paper boats to talk about it in Valinor. You know, are there horses in Valinor? I don't even know.
I don't even know. She was technically sailing across that sand beach because that horse was. If you saw that,
wow, dude. Okay, nice. That was. Well, you're Shakespeare, Bill Shakespeare over there.
Bill Shakespeare.
Cam, seriously, what did you think of this episode? We're gonna stop messing around here.
Yes,
it's just fun to mess with you. What did you think of this episode?
Overall, it was really cool. I mean, this was like, I think I've heard it said a couple times since I've been listening. But definitely my favorite of the three so far. I mean, I like that they keep getting better and better. I don't know, like we're into the story now, so like we're officially into it. They're still building up some stuff. Like we're still being introduced to characters, and we probably will continue to be introduced to characters until the last couple episodes. But just because there's so many people like that still need to be introduced, including characters that we maybe don't even know about. So yeah, I mean, specifically, I mean, I loved the chain fight scene where they're all chained up and they're whipping the chains around with their legs. That was
that cool. Awesome. I love that. Like, hey, let's get a little kinky, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's knock these orcs in the face. You like bondage? Dude, I have some bondage, baby.
Just the way he like flipped himself around to do that one, and then they all like followed suit. Like we didn't see them planning it. Just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just they're like kind of a little head nod, and then
it was a little head nod. Yep. It was like a little salute. Okay, so this is not related to the episode. It's the intro, right? Or the not the intro, the title, the credits at the beginning, opening credits. So Stephen Matthew just messaged us not but an hour ago. Okay, Stephen Matthew, longtime listener, wonderful friend of the podcast. He said, remember if people were wondering if the opening was practical or fake with the Sands of Time stuff, right? We were wondering that, and I didn't even catch that until Ez elaborated on it. And we were talking about it last Hobbit Hotline, and then I thought to myself, oh my gosh, wait a minute. I started thinking in my head, I'm like, the title reveal was all practical, and I thought it was CGI until you sent us that link. Stephen sent us some kind of link or something confirming that it was a practical effect, that music was used to create those shapes with the sand, like sound waves and stuff.
That's dope. That's awesome.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I just saw that message. That's wild. That's wild. Jeez.
So I mean, I don't know if I should. Now's the right time, but guys, I've been behind all of this. That was me.
That's super cool.
I can actually emit like a sound wave through my flatulence, and also just different tones. Tones I can hit. Like I'm making one right now.
I thought I felt something over here.
Wow.
Yeah, no, wait. Let me do something else. Listen. I just did it. You can't hear it, but I just did it. And it's sort of something like
moving the sands of time. Holy.
I'm moving the sands of time, and yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of my gift. So I just wanted to reveal that.
Imagine if we see Lane Smith credited in there, sound production team.
Hey, I wanna run a theory by you.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been said already or not, but I've been listening to you for the past like half hour, so I wanted to see. I don't know. I might be repeating stuff that's already been said. Do you think? I feel like there's a really good chance that we won't see Sauron this season.
Yes.
I don't think that's a hot take. I feel like that's just a theory that people have in general.
Well, hold on a minute now. Technically, we've already seen him. Technically, we saw him in the prologue. Yeah, I know what you mean.
We won't see him in modern day.
Yes, I don't think so. I almost think maybe we don't see him until like halfway through next. That's a stretch. That's a long time, but I don't know. This is like, I mean, I guess we did contradict yourself. We were just talking about how quickly this is moving. With Matthew Johnson, we were talking about. Yeah.
Well, continue on to that point, then the guy, I feel like they're doing a lot to basically tease us, and they want us to believe that all these different people could be like the stranger, Holobrand, and then this new guy that we saw at the end. I feel like they're purposefully making them mysterious and sketchy, basically to distract us and kind of play this game. They're probably not going to come out and say like, this is Anatar or whatever. They're going to maybe even make up a brand new name while they're at it. So we get the mystery of like, who is it? Who could it be the entire time? Like the person that ends up being Sauron is going to be probably like a complete mystery forever, like until we find out who it is.
I see where you're going with this, and I agree. I think Galadriel is Sauron. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew it. I
you're going.
I
think they're going to rewrite canon, and I think Galadriel is going to be Sauron. I totally agree. I think they're going to build the suspense and drag it out as long as and I think it's a brilliant idea. Maybe even changing the name of Anatar, because they already alluded this episode. They're like, Sauron had many names of old.
Yeah, they
right. And they don't. They want that to be a big reveal. They want it to be like everyone that's watching to be like, oh no, I didn't see that one coming, or I knew that was him, but we didn't know for sure. And if everyone can have that joint like satisfaction of finally knowing that like who it is and stuff, and being surprised, and that's good television. So.
Right. So real quick, just to kind of jump on what Cameron's saying here, there is a theory that and I'm sure, I think I saw Mike Upshaw in here and a couple other folks in the chat or whatever, who probably know more about this than I do. But I was reading somewhere.
Mike Upshaw, that's a throwback,
name drop,
dude.
right? I know he's been in here saying some awesome stuff, man. Yeah, it's really cool. So he's been posting.
Mike?
Yeah, he's been posting some stuff in the group.
Upshire. Yeah, literally. Yep.
Yeah, cool. It's just cool to see these names back in here and say hey to folks. So, the idea that that the stranger might actually be Sauron. I know that's been talked a little bit about, but it comes, I guess the way it comes into play is that he is almost like in this advisor role, similar to how the Astari would have been. But I always felt like that was in Numenor. And I could be wrong about that, but like I don't.
Plus, like it seems like the wrong time for him to be sent. Like he or like what I mean, like for him to come. I don't know. It doesn't really. That would be way off. That would be totally out of lore, right? Because he never went. I mean, the only time he disappeared is he went into the east. He went out east, and he, like some people believe, he formed cults that eventually led to deceiving people from the Easterlings, right? As one main group, but yeah, that'd be a tough one. I mean, I even had trouble when Cam came to us, and it was Cam. It's Cam's fault. Cam got me all confused about Halbrand. He's like, you know what people were saying about him, right? And this little DM that Cam's getting he's
fired up,
trapping us in there. He's trapping us.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what they're saying about Halbrand, don't you? I'm like, don't even tell me anything, Cam. Come on, I can't handle this right now. He's like, people think he's Sauron. I was like, what? Yeah. And so maybe that's what Matthew was picking up too. Is I don't because for me, like, okay, so Anatar, I don't know. Like Anatar's got to trick even me. He's got to be silver-tongued that I'm like, wow, I forget Anatar even exists. And I don't know if Halbrand does that for me, or maybe because I'm so confused. Maybe he does it perfectly, but
let me tell you this, Lane. The new theory about Halbrand is that I've been hearing around the interwebs is that
the Witch King.
He might end up becoming either the Witch King or one of the Kings of Men that ends up getting corrupted and turned later.
So one of the ringleaders.
We do know. Yeah. We do end up finding that in the episode that he is probably a king on the run, very much like Aragorn. He's going to resist the call of duty and eventually probably go and lead, but then ends up getting corrupted by Sauron towards the end. So I guess only time will tell.
I have a theory about now. I know that Tara actually brought this up when we talked to her that maybe Halbrand is Theo's dad, and that relic, that sword from that sword of Sauron, it was actually Halbrand's or his family's, or maybe it even goes older and it's a sword from Morgoth, right? And so I've even kind of thought to myself, I wonder if that was one of my theories for the season or the series, I guess, that Theo will eventually become one of, like, maybe he becomes king of the Southlanders. Maybe Halbrand never goes back. I mean, he'll go back, right? Because we're going to see the cavalry charge with him and Galadriel. They're obviously going to fight off the orcs at the end of the season. It's going to be the season like finale or whatever. But I think Theo's going to get. I mean, he's blood bound to that sword now. That's not light.
Well, who's to say that Theo isn't?
The Witch
Ezra
King.
P.O isn't the Witch King.
That's what I'm saying. I think he might be the Witch King or definitely one of the 9. Bro, the dude, yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, that would be awesome to see. Yeah.
Just a couple more things as I know we're bouncing.
Oh, yeah, fine. Let's go ahead. Cut me off. That's cool. I don't care. I don't even care.
Oh, boy.
Just because I'm beating you in fantasy fellowship, that's fine.
Go ahead.
We all will lash out in unexpected ways, as it's okay.
Wow. Okay. Hey, I think you might.
Do I get points for the smile?
I think you might like this one. Okay. So a couple more things with Hallbrand. You notice, like he said, he was talking about the pendant or whatever that he's wearing, and
it looks like the Raven in Moria to me. It's very confusing.
Yeah. So going around the internet is this idea. He said he took it off a dead man, and he took off a dead man. So people went right to it. King of the dead, right? King of the mountains.
Oh my god!
Right. So I was sort of like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like the idea. And also he looks like his skin is rotting from the inside. He's got that same mark right underneath his eye. Oh my
gosh!
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, whoa, that's
You're gonna resist.
I forget who I saw that circulating. Somebody was tweeting it. It's been going around pretty fast after the episode.
That would make total sense because he would form an army. Elendil would call on him, and then Elendil would curse him. He's already met Elendil. He's hugged Elendil.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, that's my new favorite theory.
Isn't that wild?
I forgot he even existed. Like I forgot we even see that kind of storyline. Like, oh my gosh.
The last time I remembered him was Peter Jackson getting ghosted by the showrunners. So I don't, it's just
good Lord.
That's the last time he came up. But
hey, PJ, we're gonna go ahead and send you a script over, all right?
Yeah,
PJ's just sitting there by the fax machine going, I know I'm spending years cutting this Beatles documentary, but geez, I thought I'd get it by now.
Right.
Good God.
Oh gosh.
Says he's still sitting by the fax machine to this day.
He's still waiting.
He's waiting for a shadow fax. That's never gonna come.
Boys.
Damn.
So one more thing here. So the wife, the missus, brought this one up, and it's good.
Yes.
She was sitting there, and I tweeted this one out. She was like, she's like, well, I'm just looking at the name because Elendil said, like, meaning elf friend and a reference to the stars, and like names have meaning, and you can kind of break them apart, right? So in German, Hull, or she actually says it's like with a double L, but Hull means echo, and Brand or Brent would mean fire, echoing fire. And it was pretty wild. I was sort of like, wait a second, what? And she was like, now technically, like some Germans might say, you need that extra L, and it's not exactly meaning echo, but it does mean to reverberate or to, whatever. The translation's a little bit tricky in terms of trying to find the word for it. But I was like, wow, that's what Tolkien.
Echo.
Wow, you
yes,
could.
He did. Yeah, he wrote the name first. Yeah.
Yeah, he always started with that name, and then from there, there was lore behind it. There was story and connection. So she said that, and I was sort of like, wait a second. These cultures and these, like that being the Southrons, right? Being the Southlands, and in proximity to what would be your Shire, like Britain area. It I don't know. It just
so here's my question too, is like the King of the Dead isn't named, is he? We don't know what his name was.
It just says so. He was a king of the Men of the Mountains, and when the realms in exile were founded, he met Isildur, swore his affiliation to Gondor on behalf of his people. So it's almost like he was there before, right? And then he meets up with them.
Isn't there something about them migrating, the Southlanders migrating to the mountains because of everything that's happening with the New Mordor being built and all that?
I bet that, for sure. That seems like that could be.
Can I just say, I really hope we see the Druidon.
Yeah, that'd be wild too.
That'd be amazing.
Jeez, I forgot about them.
Yep. Well, remember one of their like areas is named on one of the maps from way back. Wow. That was kind of indicative before we even knew that Numenor was a part of the map. Remember that big reveal where we knew we were going to the Second Age?
Yeah.
One of the, I can't remember what it is, but one of the little peninsulas south and west of Gondor, it was like where the Druidon like originated from. I remember when we were looking deep diving into all those names and stuff, that was one that came up. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would
ancestors of Hanberry Han. That'd be amazing.
Hanberry Han. Oh my gosh.
Hanberry Han Solo.
Wow. So they lived among the second house of men. Oh my gosh. In the Second Age, they were also a number of Druidain present in Numenor, though they had left or died out before.
Remember, it was it was the people of Rohan who discriminated against them and started hunting them for sport. So I almost, because here's the thing with I can't get over with Halbrand, right? His character poster, guys. His character poster, he looks like a freaking forefathers of the people of Rohan. It's very like horse centric. It's very red. Like it was even, I think Phil Willis said something long ago about like he's proto Rohan, but in the same way you have proto hobbits, and that got me thinking. I'm like, maybe he's the father of Eorl, or I don't know. Like there's so many different ways you can take him, though. That's the cool thing. I'm like, he really is a. I know people would use the negative connotative mystery box, but like I want mystery boxes in my show. Like I want things that are going to keep me guessing and having conversations like this. So whoever he is, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for him to reveal himself, so to speak. Will we need an intimacy coordinator? I don't know.
Maybe.
Whatever.
10 points itself.
Are you serious? Are you serious, Cam? Oh my
gosh!
Go
ahead and give it to
that
me.
just made my day.
Well, hang on. How many points is it? Let's see. Intimately coordinated scene plus 10 points. I'm waiting.
Can you make it 16 points? That would be even.
Dude.
I guess I can make it like 69 points.
That would work too.
Oh my god,
that would work too.
Dirty,
there you go.
Dirty boy.
Bunch of Harfoots in here.
There we go.
I can't
even stay up late, but he can make puns, can't he? He can make dirty jokes.
I'm just hey, listen, it's just a number. I don't know. I just picked it out of the air.
Bunch of freaking Harfoots in here. So, dude, Cam, before we let you go here, a couple people plot twist in here. Ezra is Sauron. Double plot twist. Wow. It's Lane. So we got somebody said it's it was Upshaw said it's Poppy. She's doing a Palpatine move. The chess pieces. She's moving around like a boss. It's actually Poppy. So you know what I mean. You gotta have fun with it. You know what I mean. You gotta have fun with it because I like that.
Jar Jar Binks is
Oh, I love Jar Jar. Oh, my favorite character.
Well, you guys can come about it, and you can come talk about it in Star Wars Hangout, and join me over there.
Love Jar Jar Binks.
One more question. I have a question for you guys because I don't think did Poppy's family die?
Dude, they absolutely died. Her family, Poppy's family.
So
yes, they did. I know. Wasn't that was one of the most depressing moments of this entire. Yeah, you realize like she's not just hanging out with Nori because they're best friends. It's because she ain't got nobody. Her family died in a landslide in a rainy winter day.
So wait, her name is Poppy Proudfoot, but they called them.
Is that Proudfellow?
Is that right?
I don't think. I mean, look, Proudfellow guys in the chat. I'm trying to remember here. What was it?
Because Proudfoot is a word is a surname from the Hobbit or from the the Hobbits. Proud feet.
Right. I feel like I thought it was Proud because I remember thinking that while I was typing it in.
Yeah, they're saying saying Proudfellow. Yeah.
So there you go. The Brandyfoots and the Proudfellows become the Proudfoots. That's what happens. And the Brandy Bucks split off from there. It is cool to see like these mixing of names. There was one. Me and my mom were really into the whole speech scene, and what was one? It was like Gumbelly or something. It was a ridiculous surname. It was like, oh my god, wow. Who was the guy he called? And he's like, we loved him, but he was an idiot. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, they're laughing about some dude's demise by bees. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Corey said the same thing. She was like, why are they laughing?
So un-Hobbit-like, but I mean, kind of not really. It's sort of like a less refined, less civilized type of, yeah.
I think it's funny. It happens all the time, I guess.
It happens all the time. Yeah.
It's wild.
Some people greet death with a smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there was a tear to be shed when the stranger said friends or friend or something like that. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was good.
Such like it's major like Harry and the Henderson vibes right now too, because he's like a Bigfoot kind of, and he's like
scary. Yeah.
He's like Nori, like when he was talking to Nori, and he was like Nori and the friend, and although he was kind of a bit of a douche for like hanging out in the cart and making Largo pull it, right? And my mom also made a great point. She's like, why is he holding his back? I'm like, maybe he's compensating for his foot. But it was a great catch. She's like, he's holding his back when his foot's broken in half. I'm like, dang it, Mom, why do you always have to do these things that like I can't get it out of my head now?
And he's like responsible for that broken ankle. Like he did some Gandalf magic.
Right. You're right. I didn't think about it. I went back and rewatched it. As soon as he breaks that stick, his leg snaps.
And it's not like there's like you see it giving way or whatever.
Malicious.
It looks like somebody drug it like, I don't know,
Yeah, I
it didn't
know.
slip.
It's almost
It was
like in the
pulled.
same way he killed. Yes, in the same way he accidentally killed the fireflies. I don't think he meant to.
He doesn't mean
I
to.
think his power is just no. It's so he's like a baby wizard, and like, what are you supposed to do
You
with
think
that?
that's why he needs? That's why he ends up needing the staff later, probably.
Probably.
Wow.
All right, guys, hold on a minute.
Help him out.
Am I imagining something? Never mind. That's from Onward. For some reason, I thought Gandalf made his new staff from a splinter, and I'm remembering that's from Onward. Never mind.
That's awesome though. That there's an
Sorry.
Onward connection.
Sorry,
I love
sorry,
that.
sorry,
that
that's
by the
bad.
way,
That's a
Onward is
great
amazing,
movie.
and it will
That's
make
a
you
great
cry every
movie.
time if you haven't seen
Every
it.
time.
Wow.
Every time. Yeah. Yep.
Jeez. Oh,
All right, Cam, you got to get out of here because you're getting us all. You're getting us all personal, man. Come on, man.
Cameron, we want you back in every week, and by the way, I want to see you for Andor. Don't forget that, okay? Oh, hey.
Also,
yeah.
As I want to put you on the spot. Are we going October 9th?
Yeah, no, I was
I'm
talking
down.
to Cameron before. Like, yeah, I'm into. Yeah,
I'm in to go.
Yeah, I'm down
I want
too.
to pressure this director into giving me a cameo with you by my side.
I want to. Can we take a couple still photos on set? I just want to be there. You know,
holy crap.
So
yeah, probably.
Now hold on.
I will promote the heck out of this thing however we can, because the fact that this is like, I don't know, like it sounds pretty daggone high quality, and it's gonna be like there's a script, there's story, it's the whole 9 yards, man. Like,
can you communicate to the director though, Cam, just in closing, I don't do nudity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll have a coordinator on set, so we'll make it
has to be okay. And if we're I guess we're gonna do nudity, there has to be like some like really well placed banana or something.
Well, I was
like
gonna say, so
foreground.
you know, Cam said there's a coordinator on set, and by the way, I signed up for coordinator on set, so that's me, bud.
No, that was supposed to be for the fluffer. That's what that is.
Get those things hard,
Cameron. I cannot. I'm blaming you,
man.
young man, for this whole thing right now. This whole last 30 minutes. Is just,
I thought this was after dark.
Yeah, dude, you're right. It is at Adar. It's
at dark. Yes, he's right. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong about that. You set him up for that. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
You guys are just bad influences. That's all I got to say.
That's true.
We are.
That's true.
It's both of us. That's true. Yeah, and we're gonna get this young man in trouble, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right,
so
Cam.
It's been real.
Yep. Hey, thanks,
real,
buddy.
Man. Love you, dude.
Love you, man.
Love you guys. Have a good one.
Right.
Yep.
All right. See you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Wow. I just every time he comes on here. By the way, I got about
he makes a mess.
15 more minutes, maybe. Like I got
15 more minutes.
I got one of those big old, you know what?
Keep it open long.
I got one of those 3-letter.
You got to make a movement. You got to stay regular.
Well, I got for that too. Oh, here we go. Tulsa. Let's see.
Call from
Seth.
To accept, press 1. To send.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Who is this?
This is Seth. Seth Gleason.
Seth, welcome back, my friend. How are you, man?
Hey. Man, I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're having a great time, man. This is
just too much fun, Seth. We're losing our minds over here.
Hey, I needed to jump on because you guys are having a blast.
Yeah, you need to calm us down a little bit. I said I wasn't going to talk very much, and here I am cracking jokes and making fun of Ezra's point gripe about the smile. Like, give me a break.
Yeah,
Seth, what did you think of this newest episode, man? Was it also your favorite, or like everyone's saying this was their favorite one so far? So, how did you feel about this latest addition to the series?
I don't know if it was my favorite, but I did love it. I think I will wait until the end of the season before I start
ranking.
Right now it's feeling like an ongoing story, so it's hard to pick points because this one it had like moments that were cool, they were big, but it also felt like a bridge episode at the same time, like leading up to something.
Yeah.
Which I like that as well. I mean, it feels like the story is moving. We're getting closer to some bigger moments, which is exciting. So that's some neat things about the episode. But the thing about it too is that we didn't get the big moment that it ended on. That I think we were all kind of like, oh, we gotta see Adar.
I know.
So.
I just want to see Joseph Maul. Like, I mean, like this whole time he has been the one. He's been the most mysterious one. He's been the one making me think he's got to be Anatar or Sauron, just because.
Yeah.
Like, remember, this is very interesting, right? Unless he's going to have multiple names, which I guess would be an allusion to Sauron.
Right.
Like, he was always, well, when we first talked about what his name was being reported as, it was Oren, O-R-E-N, right? And then for a long time, a couple weeks before the show started, we got on IMDb and looked, and like he was the only actor who didn't have a character name attributed to him. And so we were like, okay, that's suspicious. And then now to hear this elven name of Adar or elvish word, I should say, is crazy. So like, who is this guy? Do you have any theories on who he is, who he's going to be? Like, is he an elf? Is he not an elf? Is he using an elven name in mockery? Like, the whole like sideburn shaving thing makes me think that it's like a very elven haircut. It looks like Gil-galad's haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think he is?
I'm thinking he's an elf.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, he could be like one of the early fallen elves. That maybe first followed Morgoth, like maybe somebody that's been like alongside, because with how reverent the orcs are towards him.
Wow.
I mean, he's got to be someone important, but I don't think he's Sauron, because I mean, of course he's not. You know, the way that they. Yeah. I mean, there's no way. So I think that's what makes him up that.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Why is he gonna Why is he gonna think Arondir lives? Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I keep jumping on. I'm jumping on you, man. I need an intimacy coordinator here. This is getting kind of confusing.
Yeah, don't yell though. Well, like I really like him as an actor. He was in Game of Thrones, but like he was very limited in it. But the few times that you got to see him in the show, he was my favorite. I don't know. There's something about his acting that just draws you in, and he was a character that had a lot of mystery in that show as well. So it's kind of funny that he built up as this character that we're like, who is he? So I think that's pretty cool. So right now, he's someone that I am just super excited, and I'm thinking we're gonna get at least a little bit about him in the next episode. I'm hoping. And you're asking about why you think, why do I think that he lets Arondir live? Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it could be like kinship. I mean, if they're both elves, there could be something there. But I don't know.
I wonder if he's got something. You think he's got something on Arondir? You think he knows something about him that he's gonna kind of use as leverage or something? Like, I don't. Maybe not. I'm trying to figure out why. Like, because actually, Sarah brought up a great point. She was like, this felt like one of the. And she said it, not me. And it was before I even talked about the rug on the wall that looked like it came from Big Lots of Elros and Elrond. But she was like, it felt kind of like they were the most cheesy moments in this episode. And I was like, okay, I can. And she was like, and she's like, almost. She's like, for instance, like why for her, and it made sense to me too after she said it. Like the whole thing of. Like not killing Arondir, who was clearly the strongest elf, who's going to cause the most trouble, right? Why did that not happen? Also, why did they? One of the Orcs was going to kill him, and they're like, no, wait, not this one. The other one's kill, no problem. But this one, let's go get Adar. Like, why then? Other than just to build suspense, and because when he's one of our characters, it like almost didn't kind of really make sense. I thought, so does he have something on him? Does he know him? Like what's going on there? And then, okay, so like it's cool that you're excited about this character. So Jimmy O'Connor, one of our friends from New Zealand, he was the one who way back was like, hey guys, I think it was when they posted one of those. They had only cryptic pictures they'd ever posted, and it was of a clapperboard on a beach, and he was like, dude, this is Piha, guys. And we were like, P.O, like West Auckland, like this. And he was like, yes. And he ran into Joseph Mall in like just outside of Auckland. He had like gone for a run and he was sweaty and stuff and was like at a coffee shop, and he walked up to him and he said the same thing you said. He was like, you're one of my favorite actors. I loved you in Game of Thrones. Are you here for the Amazon show for Lord of the Rings? And that time we didn't even know it was called Rings of Power, right? Yeah. And he was like, yeah. And so he had exchanged like pleasantries and just said thank you for your work and stuff. Like, I love you as an actor, dude. And like doing research on him, he's like I think he's like legally deaf. Like he either impaired or deaf. He's like overcome a lot of adversity to become the actor he is. So I'm like really intrigued by this guy. I haven't made it in Game of Thrones to where he's he's Benjen Stark. Is that right? Benjen?
Yeah, that's right.
Benjen.
Okay. So I've never seen him in Game of Thrones. I've only looked up. I can't even know if I've ever even seen him in live action. So I'm the same way. Even though I don't have a context for him, I'm amped. He's the character I'm most excited for, honestly.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about how good he is. Like even in limited amounts of things they've seen him in, that he's like very impressive. Steals scenes. He's like a scene stealer. So I'm excited too. What else was working for you in this episode? Did you like Numenor? Did you like the way they portrayed Elendil and his kids? Was it nice? I thought it was really nice, honestly, because you had a lot of people who were like, oh great, okay, here we go, modern day. They replaced an Arion with a girl. Of course, they put in a sister instead of an Arion. So it's cool to hear him kind of referenced and brought up that he is. So this also helps me too, right? Because there's a lot of characters that we're finding out are around. Like they haven't written them out. We just haven't met them yet. And so I think like when people are like, there's no Celeborn. Well, there's no Celeborn yet. And even though he and Galadriel were already together in the Second Age at this point, it doesn't mean we're not going to see them also get together in the show. Right. You know what I mean? So
it's not going to destroy the story.
Yeah. They're maybe just kind of playing with time a little bit. So how did you feel about all the Numenorian stuff, I guess?
I loved it. And so last episode, I was talking about things that I was worried about, right?
Yes.
That ended up paying off. Well, one thing I was excited about that still paid off was Elendil and his family. That was something that I was like, I can't wait. Like, even if the rest of the show is maybe which has not been the case at all, I was like, I just want to get to know Elendil and Isildur.
Yeah.
They are just so important to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And I love Aragorn and
Yep.
Isildur. I think that he was done a little dirty in the movies. So I'm hoping that we can actually get to know him.
Yeah.
And in the show, and maybe, I don't know, understand like where he was coming from with the rings, and maybe, I feel like that could maybe break your heart a little bit more, but also just pull you in. I love stuff like that.
I do too. So part of the things that I like, moments I took away from Elendil and like being such a lover of Aragorn, if I can say that, was that line of Elvish he spoke. That was huge, right? That was just like, I think that's something that's been lacking a little bit. And then I was almost kind of even thinking it, not right at that moment, but before, I was like, man, I wish there was a little more. Like, we haven't really seen Galadriel speak Elvish. Like, we've been with the Yell. Like, there's just something and then that line happened. I was like, that's huge. That makes me think of Aragorn, makes me think of Viggo Mortensen. And then also like the talking about Isildur being fleshed out more. Like, he's on the boat, right? And he looks to it's that shot we had gotten in the trailer. He looks to the main mountain, Meneltarma or whatever it is, the center of Numenor, and he hears a voice saying his name, Isildur, right? But this time it's like a woman's voice. When we hear it before, every time we ever hear Isildur whispered, it's the voice of Sauron. So I'm thinking, like, are they going to try and explain part of Isildur's, like, I don't know. Is it going to be like this, like he lost his love on Numenor? Like when the island is destroyed was like the the girl he loved, like there? How is this? Is this? Is it really a woman's voice we're hearing, or is it just the island calling to him? Like, I don't know. It's interesting to see where that's going to go. He's clearly not in love with being a seaman, right? So,
Right.
like, how's that going to play out? How's that going to play out? You know?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Hey, what's up, dude?
I wanted to just play Star
What?
I think we got some
thank you.
Harfoots on
Hey.
here, man. These little
Yeah,
hobbits
we
jumping
do.
on the hotline.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm doing something wrong with my parenting. My son is obsessed with Sauron.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Dude, he
Yeah,
is pretty
I know.
cool.
I'm like, Elliot, dude, there's nothing redeemable about him.
But he's so tall, Dad. He's so tall.
I know, and he's got a mace, and yeah, like
man.
he gets so upset when his field guard cuts the ring from his fingers. So I've done something. I don't
Something
know.
wrong.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows something we don't. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, all right. Well, well, I was gonna bring up something.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear.
Oh, yeah.
Children in the background.
Please,
Well,
that's a
okay,
welcome
so-
sound. We love that.
Yeah. Yep.
No, they're not his. Wow.
Only Sauron's my friend. Dang,
Yeah.
dude.
He says that. I'm like,
That
hold on,
is-
Elliot. Hey, Elliot, I'm on the phone right now.
That's
You do.
wild.
Passionate boy right there. I love this.
He's fired up.
Yep. Well, you know what? I may have to go because I'm gonna have to put these kids to bed.
Yeah.
Get him, hey, dude. If anyone can empathize, it's me. I totally understand. Like, half these episodes have had interludes because of it's meant to. As how many times have I had to go help get the? Get the
Oh
kids
yeah,
to bed
got
with
got
my
to.
nighter?
They getting all fired up
Someone
now.
Oh yeah.
Now they weren't talking about ring wraiths. Not yet.
Listen, you call in. Yeah, you call in next week, man. If you want, call in whenever you want. You
Hey,
can call us.
absolutely. I was gonna bring up something that would really upset the trolls, and I was really excited. We'll just
Save
have to
it.
wait till next week.
We could, you know what? Because we already came down on the trolls, so we got to spread that out over weeks.
It's
Let's
so
get them
true.
next week. Let's get them next week, big time.
Yeah.
So
And we
think they're
will.
winning,
Oh, we will.
and we'll get them right there, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you, Seth.
Good to
I
hear
love
from
it,
you.
man.
Good to hear from you.
A family man, baby.
I love that.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hey, this is cool. Breaking message I just got from Jimmy O'Connor, baby, all the way down in Aotearoa.
Yeah.
He said that Joseph Mall, he must be listening.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
This is Pat. It's like tomorrow in the middle of the day, as for him. He
Yeah.
said Joseph Mall is partially deaf, didn't know it until he talked to him, but he noticed his voice slightly accommodated the hearing loss and then found out later. Like he
That's
didn't
wild.
notice when he talked to him, and it was something he found out after the fact, but he could almost kind of tell
Yeah.
from his voice. So
Yeah.
wow, that's
So-
amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Lane, let me blow your mind here a little bit. I don't know if I'm getting played over here on the internet or something, but
Okay, let's go.
we got a fellow by the name of Anthony Crum in the chat who plays on is it Ontimo, which would be
What?
Isildur's. Yeah, this is wild. It plays Isildur's
No,
friend.
this is a joke.
I know, dude. I looked him up. Man. I could be wrong. He said,
Get him in here.
hold on
Can we
here.
call
Hold on.
in?
Let me see here. He said, I listened to your guys' Lord of the Rings read through as a part of my prep last year. Love your work. So
No, he did not.
I
Anthony Crum hails
ain't
from
messing with you right now.
Fangare, and is an actor and stand-up comedian based in Auckland. He's a comedian. That's what it is. He's joking with us. Crum starred as Griffin in the short film Foam 2019 and as Rat Tail in the 2020 TV series The Wilds.
Let's go, dude.
I mean, he's got a picture of Galadriel comes up when we search him, and
He's right.
people also search for Fabian McCallum.
Now, let me
who's,
go, Anthony.
and
Let me
Will
go look
Fletcher-
this.
Will Fletcher is Finrod, so
Hold on. Let me go look. Because I mean,
Anthony, there's a picture of him at the premiere. Anthony, can you
Right.
call in and talk to us?
yeah. That'd be amazing. But let me
Yeah, bro.
let me see if I can get a picture of. I gotta pull up the episode here again, just to, I mean, I definitely remember his face and
In
everything.
preparation, is this a joke? Can we credit this somewhere? This is crazy.
That's pretty awesome, dude. It's pretty wild. You know, like it's pretty crazy.
Like, remember, listened in preparation. That is wild. I can't even fathom that.
I think it's friggin' awesome. Let me just see here though, because what was this guy?
Right,
what was he was doing? What, like, they're all on the ship, right? Now, which this isn't the guy that.
Oh, is this oh my God, hold on. It was Imrahil. Is this Imrahil?
No, he said he plays
the son of the captain.
Although that was actually cool that Imrahil was in this. I was actually
was cool, wasn't it?
I was pretty shocked by that.
I know.
It's like it's spelled Ontamo. Ontamo, I think is maybe how you say it.
Okay, yeah.
Does that sound right? Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Hey, call in, Anthony. That'd be sick. Maybe he can't because he's out of the country.
Well, I was gonna say,
he's international.
He's
Let's set up an interview. Let's have him on an episode.
He's well, here's what I could do. I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna send him a
Goldberry tapping from the window. Just give me a I love you sign and a thumbs up.
Oh, what? That's amazing.
Just like little Arwen who used to tap through the episodes, you know? This would be crazy.
Oh, there wouldn't be any way for him to. You know what we can do, Anthony? If you're down for like next, like this, like coming up,
we'll do a standalone episode, Anthony.
I'll send you. I'll send you a link to the because right now it's like we got Lane on the phone, because even if I brought him in, you wouldn't be able to hear him. You know what I mean? That's the whole problem with the internet. Yeah,
we'll get together and we'll record it. That'd be or I mean, shoot, even if it was just you, I would.
Yeah, Ontamo. Yeah. Okay.
This is crazy.
That's so cool though. I wonder how many other people, you know, like listen for inspiration, like get in there and you know, want to kind of get in the spirits. Boy. Yeah, that's
dude,
sick.
That's so cool.
Yeah. He does more we got breaking spoilers.
A bunch of episodes.
No, he said I kill Isildur next episode is what he said. He said, "No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm messing with you. I'm because Lane can't see the screen. I'm messing with him."
You son of a.
No, he said, yeah, for sure. He says that he does more next episode too. Anthony, dude, thanks. This is actually really sick. That's really cool,
Anthony,
man.
Can we talk? Is this possible to talk? We would.
Yeah,
we don't even have to hear. Don't even talk about the show because you might not be able to. But just tell us like if you have a Tolkien story, or tell us some jokes. Like, come on and just do your comedy. That would be
absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
that'd be sick. What we'll do, we'll set something up with him. I'll get him a link and we'll get him in StreamYard and stuff, and we'll
let's send him a T-shirt too.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure he probably does not need a Up Talking Tolkien T-shirt, but if he listened to us,
I mean, to wear around.
My lord,
did he make it through season 1? We don't know. You know what I mean?
He's my new favorite character. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, pretty wild. That's pretty, dude. Anthony literally made
season 1.
Make it through season. I'm rooting hard for him now. Matter of fact, I want to call Cam and say I want to change my my roster, right? In terms of my fantasy roster. All right.
My God, that's so funny.
That's amazing, dude. That is one of the coolest things, though. So right now we're like looking at like all the people who are the big names of like sort of like Isildur or whatever. But look at all the crewmen around those guys, and look at all the the Muriel like shot. All the people in costumes around there, they build a world so well. And it wouldn't surprise me if this guy, you know, not Flea.
Well, listen to this. Ontimo's in.
Yeah, we'd love to chat.
At least according to IMDb, he's in episode 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So he's in the rest of the season.
Yeah. So I don't think he can fully talk about the show, right? Because we're getting into spoiler stuff. But
cool
he said, absolutely, just share your story, all that kind of good stuff. That would be freaking sick. So we'll set something up with him. That's really cool.
Good
so
Lord.
It's, you know,
first Tammy Lane, then Shane Runge, now Anthony Crum. Are you kidding me?
It's just so interesting because you get a totally different, like, okay, for example, you know, Lane and I are just small time Hobbit, you know, podcasters or whatever.
Oh, but, yeah. Just humble Hobbits.
You're humble. We try to be more, but we like to eat. We like to eat. Anyway, so Nerd of the Rings, I think he's got somebody. Oh gosh, one of the stars of the show is on.
It's Lloyd Owen. I think Lloyd Owen.
That's right. That's right. He's on there tonight.
I saw that.
So it's just real. I think it's just really cool to see people. Like when we talk to Shane Runge and we talk to Tammy Lane, to get the perspectives on like makeup, costuming, what all that's like and everything. Just like what a day is. Even Cam, our buddy Cam, who talks about like what it's like to be on a set. and how different that is for us to think about.
Absolutely. Well, and just like people, they made it. I mean, they made the cut. They were like, they're in these things that we watch and love. Like, let's not forget, we are followed on Twitter by, is it Payne or McKay? Which one? Both.
McKay.
Payne. And
sure.
we messaged him long ago and said, hey, we don't even want to talk the show. We just want your Tolkien story.
Yeah.
And that still stands. And he said, when the time is right.
Right. I think
maybe the time is right, my friend. I mean, I just want to know how they become fans. Like, I don't care about the show. I don't care about other questions people ask. Like, I want to know, like, how did they develop this love that is obvious?
One of the things, buddy, one of the things this is our first time kind of covering like a big show like this. I just started really thinking about this in terms of like we have open DM with him, which is awesome. But and even other people who have provided rings for the show and stuff like that, but they can't yet. They're very cautious because if we get them, you get them on the show and they say something, they slip up, they can get in trouble, and I never want to put that kind of pressure on people either too. So
no.
And we're amateur hour. They're sitting there going like, Lady Nez kind of, shoot from the hip. I'm not so sure.
We're winging it. We're
winging it. This is not script. I love how you said last episode, who's writing this show? I mean, our show. Like, because
I like how they're writing
this Lane guy is just taking a turn there. But anyway,
my gosh, it's funny,
dude. That's probably like a great spot to kind of. I was gonna push it to 11:30, but man, we've been burning the midnight oils, and that was a good one with Anthony there, just to kind of end on. And
is that for real? I honestly can't even
That's for real, dude.
This.
That's for real. Yeah.
Wow, this is cool, man.
Yeah, which is sick.
Hold on, wait. I just saw a comment. Did he just comment somewhere?
Yeah, I told him to message us, and I said, we can hopefully. So he might have. Yeah, we'll. Hey. Man,
oh my gosh, you did! Holy crap!
Let's go.
It's on, fellas. It's on, fellas and fellas.
You know what I mean?
Shouldn't fella be a female noun as well? I was thinking about that.
You'd have to ask the old professor himself. It
ends in an A. You know what I mean? If we're talking Spanish, but that's fine.
I don't speak. Yeah. Sorry.
Fellers and fellas, we'll do that.
I'm still stuck on Hallbrand being echoing fire. I don't know what's going on.
I can't believe Anthony just DM'd us.
I can't either. It's awesome.
Oh, it's our personal account too, my friend.
Let's go, baby. Let's get in there.
Holy moly, let's go. Okay,
let's go. What if you know Shane?
How do we even end this? I don't know how to do this.
We end this the way we started it, with no plan.
Okay.
But no, we love you guys. Hey, this has been good though. So we had the Hobbit Hotline. We get all these folks in here. Andrew's in here. We got a bunch of folks in. Seth again back. Matthew, everybody. So just good to hear from folks. We had some new voices. We had some familiar voices. Hopefully we can kind of get Anthony in here just to chat at some point, whether it be this coming week, or whenever. And if anybody else is out there listening and you guys are part of the show, worked on costuming, whatever it might be, we're just a link away, just a zoom away. Because really, as Lane said, we make a lot of jokes. I mean, we'll theorize out the wazoo about, the fireflies that lived or died, in the last episode. But we really just want to talk to those folks in terms of like their Tolkien story, right? Like, what do they like about Tolkien? How'd you get involved? Some people are like, they're just actors. They're at their craft and they don't really
Anthony
in the lore. So
no, I'm catching who Anthony is. He's the one who says 18 years maybe. They're talking about getting their own ship, and he says 8 years for me, and he goes 18 years maybe. That's him. That's a comedian even in the show, my friend.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because I was just pulling this up.
So cool.
I marked it. I said I'm gonna go back here and I tell you, I'm gonna walk into school tomorrow and be like, "What's up, people? What's up?" Yeah, I love it. No, it's cool. It's been so fun to meet new people and stuff. Like, meeting Billy Boyd and talking to him. And then I was out talking to Travis, and he's like, on their show and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Got us an unexpected mead going and stuff like that. Just partnerships and meeting people, collaborating.
Did you bring back a bottle for me? By the way, did you bring a bottle back?
You better believe I did, bad boy. I was waiting for that big finale at the end to bust it open.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna save my appetite. I'm gonna count my calories till then.
Same here, buddy. So that stuff lays on thick. I'm still
straight honey.
Straight honey. I mean, I look like a bear that eats honey right now. Like, it's
right. I don't want to get too explicit, but I am currently chatting with Anthony Crumb, guys.
Let's go.
And I said 18 years maybe. He said, the C is always right.
Well, I mean, hey, Oh gosh, let's break that down.
Oh, this is unreal.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks everybody over there on the YouTubes. We're gonna end that stream for you guys. It's not much, just a little something humble. But appreciate you guys over there. Thanks so much. I'm surprised my internet held up, to be honest with you. So
so you're burning it up in the forest.
I
my
can't
friend.
believe that the computer's on fire right now. So anyway, thanks everybody out there on the live stream. And